on this map, but the concerns we start talking about is actually when you look at this composition. You can see that because we have a probe towards B site initially here. Kiwi unable to follow through just yet, but
oh, look at him trying to sell it.
Is this a wrap towards C?
He's got the access. It's going to be the KO on the other side. Yeah, so soulcas is in a lot of trouble here, and all this attention is being drawn towards Kiwi. It gets handled well by Sayf, so opposing number down. Jamppi overwhelmed, so the site looking a little bit more vulnerable, but by finding Kiwi, they can at least support this rotation. FaliN wins out on the site, and the trades go back and forth. Now, favorable still a little, I would say, with the damage done towards qRaxs in Liquid's favor. Spike down, though. Time's at least on their side.
Redgar should be able to catch the first FaliN.
Good trade.
Good for the trade, though. And the reposition is key here, and that's... He's got to be on red alert for this. Walks into it and catches a headshot immediately. MrFaliN with a 3K to close the pistol out. Beautiful.
Just picking up where he left off in that prior series, he was one of the headlight stars, at least in my mind, when it came to this map. It wasn't actually Kiwi that time. It was the supporting act alongside. So already unrelenting in approach. Lovely, lovely work.
And the start of this round as well, Kiwi is commanding so much respect from the Liquid defense here. Jamppi almost there in a situation where he has to go 1-for-1.
Yeah.
Bare minimum to hold on to that site. So fantastic work from FUT Esports to even capitalize on that pressure created. Kiwi actually had a couple of options there. Could have even committed to that full wrap. Sayf here. Sheriff in hand, gonna look for it. Wow. Kiwi sharp to it. The start of this game, though. Definitely a head-to-head you will look towards as this map does progress.
Yeah, we have a million shorties out right now. Nats, Redgar, both of theirs, and Ghosts beside that. So it's certainly not without a little bit of threat to this, but could be managed. Oh, soulcas, all right, not
Big
bad.
headshot.
He's done a fair crack of damage. Crashing through the wall, there's so many people there. Jamppi, probably not going to know all of them, potentially two now seen. Has to slip away somewhat, and it's very tentative from both sides. Caution being shown, and Liquid trying to find any opportunity to bring those shorties in or pistols to any area that they could maybe thrive. And damage has been done, but I mean, needs a little bit more than that now. It's still 5 standing against them.
This poison orb's going to be very problematic for Liquid to navigate their way through as well. Just maybe waiting for Redgar to get into position, but they have to close the gap here to make use of these shorties. Or just commit to the exits very early on here. soulcas is really the man to do some damage. If at all, it doesn't even look like they're going to attempt to pressure this FUT Esports post plant. Let's give this up, don't want to feed across any ultimates. qRaxs actually already 3 away from the null command.
This has been a wonderful start. Very impressive from FUT. Not really, I mean, yes, there was damage done at a captain there, down a little low, 15 HP. FaliN as well, receiving a little bit of damage, but no converted kills. They get to weather through perfectly. No threat even to that rifle. And they decide to go down towards the spike. We'll see going forward how this affects Liquid, because, again, quiet start here. Not really singing too loudly.
This is a very comfortable purchase to be coming into round 3 with as well. It's only 1 SMG, 3 Bulldogs. Vandal still in hands for Kiwi. Looks as if actually the early intention here from FUT is to deny some of this space towards Mound with this poison orb. Isolate that one player that's willing to come forward and challenge some of this space, and previously that was Sayf. Whether or not that continues through the buy rounds as well. It does give them an opportunity at least for Jamppi to maybe to set up a pop flash out of this smoke. And not really any information there. The poison orb sent over, the flash is just going to confirm presence, but would have already known that.
And Kiwi's looking for that opportunity. I'd be very surprised if Liquid give him that so freely, but he does get to at least garner, he gets the benefit of all this space. Up close now. Jamppi and Sayf need some success here. Again, caution being shown. Kiwi being allowed a little bit of play this time. But look at this walkthrough from Jamppi. This is nice, but the counter screen. Kiwi, oh wow, Kiwi's gone down. MOJJ does get the trade on Sayf, so Jamppi's on a bit of an island. You did just see the knife come through, so that does indicate that soulcas had hit the rotation, but FaliN finds the pick on the other side of the map. Yes, they lose Kiwi, but it's fine for now. Until then, Jamppi's doing damage. He's made this at least feasible now in this 3v3, but it is a post plant.
That's captain still 2 snake bites, so Possibility to play a little later on this one. Jamppi tagged up. He's trying to make his way through with the Trailblazer here, but there's not going to be anything towards Rubble that he's going to be able to spot out.
The timing's everything. There's fallen. The flash, it's good, but soulcas close enough to get around it.
Beautiful setup there from qRaxs.
Concept's great. Execution not quite there. qRaxs, though, does still need this. Gets it cleanly, and TAtaKaptan in the meantime just found Jamppi. Sight control is theirs. And the upgrades to boot, looking at it, yes, TAtaKaptan does nab a rifle as well. So the upgrades coming through, and their money's going to swell. They're in the perfect position. Couple of ults just coming online now as well, and a very good timing for them. And Liquid made it dangerous, or should I say, Jamppi made it dangerous.
Yeah, made it doable. Unfortunately, the fact that At is able to reset so deep that this plant comes through so early on before anybody really on the side of Liquid can rotate away from this C pressure. That At is able to reset all the way back to A lobby here. The Trailblazer doesn't spot anything. Jamppi has to prioritize sight there. Like I said, beautiful setup from qRaxs there to try and put MrFaliN in a position to find a kill over towards Heaven. A very commanding start here from FUT Esports. Again, rinse and repeat once again. It's qRaxs and MrFaliN to kind of pressure towards Rubble here, and it's 3 members of FUT Esports over towards Mound. This time around, Liquid, 3 players opposite this. Nats include that in the equation as well.
There's such a heavy lean towards C. If it gets felt out, if it gets kind of red, if there's any indicators of more presence than normal, you're going to see them hit that.
It's just so difficult to actually stop a Neon running through onto C site here. Again, the stun, it can clear so much because these angles are so tight. There's not really much space to move, especially if you're playing towards Jamppi's position here.
See them trying to hold those cards close to their chest in the Logitech G power-up round. Don't want to give away too much. Liquid sitting super deep on this. See if they can maybe catch a little bit of that overzealous push coming in. They're ahead of this flash. They can get in early, and they catch the timing so well. Kiwi just playing a little ahead, further than expected. Punishes soulcas, but they've got a good amount of information here, but they're playing towards this, and Nats is behind the wall. Couldn't convert a second, but Redgar can. And TAtaKaptan goes down, and now it's starting to get a little bit panicked. Spike back in hand, but a 3v3 with 18 seconds. It ain't much.
Kiwi needs his kill here. Sayf able to slip away. Temporarily, at least actually finds a headshot.
Shot.
Beautiful from Sayf.
8 seconds, they've got to get a move on, and now there's problems! And Sayf is that problem. Handing out headshots like it's free. FALN wants back in, but he's got no time. Beautiful work from Liquid, and FUT left without an answer. Oh, he even punishes FALN at the end. Beautiful round from Sayf.
Fantastic recovery there. And the opener actually comes in favor of FUT Esports. Unable to convert that into sight control or even getting towards the plant. Esports playing very cautiously throughout this round. Massive from Sayf. Prevents a very early lead being built up even further. Especially the fact it comes through in that thrifty round, but Kiwi off the rip here. I say previously there's only been 2 members to kind of push and prod towards Rubble, but the wide swing with the flash setup, Redgar immediately removed from this setup.
But I do like the Liquid are being proactive elsewhere. Yes, they take down the turret towards middle, but it's not its only look. Jamppi's also taken all that space by C, so they can rotate with full confidence towards the safe site, which is going to be the end goal. soulcas left somewhat to his own devices on site. Can he make anything of it? Yes, he can. Takes down Kiwi, but good trade. The site now under the flag of FUT. They should be able to get that spike down. Looking to see if anyone challenges. Cross was being watched by Nats. Very fine angle, and Sayf getting curious. Trade there. Spike going down. A whole lot of damage for it. And we'll get away. Flank not quite finding its
Nats is down the rope
yet.
already.
He's here so quick. Oh, Nats! Snapping TAtaKaptan. And now just a 2v2. That's paranoid. Flash sent does catch qRaxs. But it's that last player they need to identify to find. Swings there. Jamppi's fallen. It's all on Nats. One to the right, one to the left. So much to do here. The tap on the spike to try and draw the attention. The shot looks for free for MOJJ, and it is. FUT starting to gain that real momentum now. 4-1, going to set things back in their favor. Now the buy should be there for Liquid. And they have a couple of these ults to play with. I liked some of that proactive work, but I want to see what the buy's looking like completely. There will be some lacking items.
The concern being, this is the half really, I think actually with the track record that FUT Esports have shown us already, I mean, against Heretics, it was 9-1 on their attacking side. Versus 100 Thieves, it was 8-2. This is the side you expect them to really deliver. So Liquid need to slow this down early. This will be interesting here. Sayf actually going to double down on this, but can't find that kill.
No, he's made a meal of it. Redgar's there, shut down. Liquid punishing FUT, finally getting aggressive with bodies behind it. 3 of them willing to take that fight. Now FUT left with just 2. TAtaKaptan and MOJJ looking elsewhere on the map. Looking to find some success. They are on towards the B site now. Spike being toyed with, looking to see if they can get that pick. No one biting too hard on this. Jamppi gets curious, and he does actually get one as well. Dwindling in numbers.
Beautiful round from Liquid. They're going to take the initiative, and that's after actually in the previous Redgar getting slapped in the first 5 seconds of that round. Happy to challenge this, go toe-to-toe with FUT Esports outside Rubble. That's the response we see here. I mean, Sayf really heating up. It's a 4-2 scoreline overall. 8-4 for him. Ultimate's just come, well, everything but Nats and soulcas, and that's only 1 away. So this is a big round here. Almost as close to the force coming through on the back of Kiwi's ultimate being used here from FUT Esports. Liquid once again, very early exploration. Look how deep Redgar gets. That's going to pull the rotation of Sayf. A couple more men of Liquid, actually. FUT Esports going to try and catch some timing here, but Nat's going to shut it down with the snake bite.
So well prepared, just melting Kiwi on the way in. You can see the damage being done if they did try and commit to that. Nats, rightly so, will back away, give up the site. The support's going to be there. This post plant will be very uncomfortable. They had so much room towards A. They've hit that early flank. They are going to be surrounding them on so many sides. Jamppi waiting with the Seekers as well once they get a little bit closer here. There is that one threat of FaliN waiting towards this side. Flash to just try and support it, make sure no one's there too early on. FaliN will see this coming, but there are 3 players on the other side. FaliN, this would have to be monstrous. It's denied. Big work from Jamppi. Diligent. Nat's waiting, dives on in head first. Oh, he's got 1. I thought he might even have a second, but it's just down to 1, which is qRaxs. So much more to do and only 32 HP. It's not enough here. Liquid back in this game. 3 now on the board. Not letting that scoreline get far away from them at all.
Bit of a pace change from Liquid in a number of different approaches here. This is the sort of thing we wanted to see, resilience. Talking about the other day, actually, in particular, the match on Haven, where it looks as if Liquid were playing 3 different games.
Yeah. Nobody
on the same page whatsoever in some of these set pieces in particular. You see they're wasting no time. Redgar gets posted up on Rubble. Immediately that rotation comes through. If Liquid being decisive is going to be the response here, hoping they can carry on. This is obviously around FUT. We'll come into this with just the 1 rifle. Sheriffs to round that out, but Sayf once again. FUT Esports need to start respecting this.
Yeah, they've kind of sat somewhere in between challenging it and not, but they have been punished so often. Now Sayf succeeding in so many ways. Very impressive. Hypermobile 2 instantly back towards B. Just going to leave Redgar posted up. And it's a big reply, actually, finding Jamppi and Nats there. Success towards C is an issue. Now, the spike is a little further away, so that does need to get a bit of a wiggle on because Redgar is hunting this out. Managing to crest the corner towards C. It should be there with no problems in the end. With a man advantage. Can they hold on to this?
Very deep poison orb as well. That does have another snake bite, but this engagement here is key. qRaxs will win it out. It's a 2v4 now for Liquid. soulcas, a headshot that doesn't do an awful lot of damage, to be honest with you. He gets away with it.
Yeah. soulcas and Sayf looking for anyone to show out a place, and they're not going to get many chances at this. The post plant's now allowed to sit a little bit deeper once they address that back line of Redgar, but might be time to just accept fate here and fall away. But I'm looking to see if anyone will be even close enough to this. Maybe Kiwi a little bit interested, but no. Time to save the rifles. Right call here. Move forward with those in hand.
Definitely hold on to these rifles when you bring Sheriffs into it. Also from the side of Liquid, don't really want to be giving MOJJ a lockdown off the rip. Still an opportunity to retrieve that. Maybe we do see the fight for Mound in the next round from Liquid to prevent that orb retrieval.
My advice, don't get shot.
Liquid still fairly comfortable. A couple of players now chatting down towards that 1K credit mark. Ultimates to work with Nats. We'll see if this is the round he does pop that Viper's Pit. Seeing this same wall once again, I think initially that was set up just for Jamppi to kind of pop flash out and contest early control of Mound, but we haven't seen it too much.
No, we haven't, but I am seeing Sayf now sit towards that C side. We did see him get aggressive with that pack towards A, so maybe aware of this. And yeah, looking like they want to play behind this as well, potentially.
Does that cover the orb? I think it does. So, I mean, MOJJ actually can't retrieve that for the lockdown. Oh, no, actually doesn't.
Okay, so it is still there. And it is only going to be Nats holding this.
Don't really want to be tapping that orb, though.
Nope.
When Nats is close by.
Nope.
Doesn't always need vision on you.
Three-man walk mid, though. That's very interesting. Maybe see if anyone had tried to maybe hit that rotation through middle if they were looking for that C crunch. But Liquid taking a big amount of map control.
Redgar, the one that needs to play very deep here. The weaker side of this formation. No control really towards this. Connect the door towards B. There's a massive gap right now for FUT Esports. Yeah, for FUT Esports to find their way onto A site for free. MOJJ, got to be careful here. Maybe only expecting one here.
Oh my god, he's going to try and backfill this though.
The timing's going to be perfect for him. Nobody's going to look back this way.
I think he's read this incredibly well. Going to hear the door being dealt with. Spots one and actually takes that opportunity. Doesn't wait for potentially a second or close the gap. He's bought time. A problem now in the back lines that they might have to address, but he's actually going to adjust all the way back around towards A. But you can see Liquid aren't going to be given many easy chances here. Going to have to carve their way back in. But Sayf's been good at that. They are starting to get those first couple of feet towards the site. See qRaxs waiting patiently in the back lines. Jamppi, Sayf, Unison. This is big from Liquid. The site is looking good. Oh, what a shot! Redgar waiting for it. They'll just tank this. They have to. Right on towards it. Beautiful work on the retake.
Fantastic stuff. Unfortunately, MOJJ, he gets the lockdown off that kill onto soulcas, I believe. But he's so slow to reposition that. And with FUT Esports committing towards these tight crossfires on site, you're almost expecting the lockdown to come through there just to seal the deal. I mean, in the blink of an eye, look at this kill feed here. It's 4 kills within like 3 seconds. I think Atta may be thinking that smoke's going to stay up for another second or two. Frustrating to see that pulled off with such ease by Liquid.
Considering this has been the home for FUT, this is a great look from Liquid. I wanted to see this. We're getting treated to it. And an attentive play. They're really putting bodies behind this now. Haven't seen them push this far really with intent behind it. You have Sayf here, you have Redgar, you've got, I think it's Jamppi tucked into that corner. Does FUT clear this correctly? Ready to go. First shot made to pull the attention. Tees up. Jamppi takes down 2. But Sayf goes down in the meantime. So now there's a vulnerability. C looking a little open, but the spike was never here.
What?
Oh, Redgar, come on.
I was going to say, he has to play safe a little bit now. The fact that it's an operator, you can't really stop this 3-man push, but he's going to get another one.
Come on, this guy, he's thriving. Couple seconds, yeah, he gets detained before them would have to get, a move on. Yes, he is trying to hunt this one down. He gets caught though. Redgar, dead to rights, can't get the follow-up. soulcas' flash denied that. And they keep themselves standing here.
Massive round from Redgar. Just when you think he has to peel back, losing 2 of his teammates. I mean, qRaxs almost gives the first away. A beautiful adjustment for that one. And then staying around to catch MOJJ.
Good job. Nice, Igor. Good job, bro. Can he add? Let's go.
All tied up, 5 apiece here. Mentioning how good FUT Esports have been on the attack. By the numbers, this actually the best performance we've anybody's seen put up against FUT Esports.
Absolutely. This is actually a great sign for Liquid. Putting everything in context, very impressive. Now, once again, Liquid just going through this protocol list. This 3-man hit almost over towards A this time. Pop the ult, they want to get a little pacey with it, but there's already bodies here. Do have Jamppi in support. Nats on the site, Redgar en route, and the flank on the way. They do decide to just kind of rescind a little, fall away from the site, give that up, allow the plant to come in. They have to look towards the retake now.
Spike planted.
Alarm bot here, and MOJJ is playing close by. Atta and MrFaliN on Mount, but the potential here is that they can swing past this.
There
I think,
it
yeah, I was
is.
going to say, they can get past the armbot, find a kill for free.
But wait, when does MOJJ pull it? He does now. He knows there's another though. He's seen this turn to flash well. And soulcas was lost in the source in that one. FUT finally getting a grip back on these sight hits. This post-plant looking way easier to hold now. Nats dealt with. qRaxs takes down Redgar. And FUT maintain the lead. It's fine, but they keep hold of it.
Last round before the switch.
Actually, a comfortable purchase coming through for Liquid in the last. Sayf and Jamppi both have ultimates available. Atta one away from that Viper's Pit now. Concern being if FUT Esports can navigate away from this proactive start to some of this defensive rounds from Liquid. Get that pit set up. I'm curious, and actually, you look at this early on. The timing of Yampi's flash as well behind this pressure towards rubble. It's so beautiful to catch the adjustment from FUT Esports away from this area. Curious if we see the same thing again now. This time we'll just back away. But Nats, this is the problem. Without that information, or at least the confirmation of FUT Esports peeling back, there's a massive gap between Nats and the rest of his team.
Nats is quite good at this role though. We'll give him that for free. The safest players in these sort of regards. You trust him with these sites. And you can see elsewhere though, Liquid are starting to go looking. Big information found, but not indicative of where they want to end just yet. Maybe looking at their options, leaving just one posted towards C, one towards A.
It's a misread from Liquid.
Welcome to my
And the
That's
ult's
a
going to really sell it.
beautiful bait. Redgar's even peeling away from this.
Yeah, but Nats is pretty deep on it, and he's seen nothing. The Seekers, well, it's going to be hard to really tell too much on.
Redgar's found Kiwi.
Redgar sat deep enough that he's still finding damage. I don't know how the hell he's done that. He's going to adjust around towards side. He can buy a lot of time by being a problem to clear. Well, does he go for the shot on this? He does! Gives it up. Now the site's theirs.
A little greedy's desperate to weaken the numbers here for FUT Esports, but they come out with a man advantage here. 3v4 on the retake for Liquid. 2 flashes, the fragment to work with for soulcas, the ultimate for Sayf. Doable here, Atta finding a deep kill on that Nats flank.
Yeah, and that's secured the back line. Now they can focus on what's in front. Sayf and soulcas. Running through the utility on the site though, so trying to get that time on their side, but there's so much of it. And soulcas can only do so much, does take down qRaxs, but there's just bodies now. That man advantage, Sayf still working it down, trying to do everything possible. Paranoid about the flank for the time. The clock is rotting away from him, and there's no more chances now. FUT sitting safe, they're not gonna give up anymore. And they do just about give themselves a touch of a lead, but historically, that was their strongest side.
Switching sides.
Concern being if Liquid can actually carry across some of this synergy that we've seen them even work on the fly here just in this week alone. And talking about them not looking as if they're on the same page at all. Totally different approach to the defense here on Lotus, which is a real positive.
Because that kind of arcs back to when we saw them, as said, in Brazil, which is our kind of cornerstone of our expectations with these rosters. It looked kind of like a fractured team, really. It was disjointed. You didn't really see what you wanted out of them. A lot of potential, but the actuality just wasn't there. This looks better. This looks way better. And again, to put that in context up against FUT on this map on that side, that's a pretty big victory in my mind to stay this close.
Yeah, it puts FUT Esports back in kind of, under pressure, I should say.
Yeah.
Deliver here, and actually, if this is a kind of shift in the MO for Liquid, I'm excited to see what they can bring to Lotus.
It changes the map pool quite a bit as well. Looking forward to seeing how that develops.
They were scraping rounds away from Vitality previously, so
yeah. It's the beauty of these kind of leagues where it is that long form where you start to really work out teams' forms. You can see how they actually match up against each other. Early doors, it's very tricky to see who's actually going to be coming out with a strong advantage. As it stands, Liquid looking like no slouches here, willing to brawl it out. And as it stands, close matchup here. First time we'll truly see FUT pushed on this map. They've had a strong upper hand even in Brazil, even when we've seen them here as well. A little bit closer on this previous debut we saw from them when it came to that second half. So we'll see if that continues here, if that's a strength that they need to work on themselves.
I mean, even indicators about midway through this half where Liquid are happy to kind of dig a little deeper. They got punished a few times by just 2 members of FUT Esports exploring towards rubble. And then you see Liquid happy to dig even deeper. And that was a real turning point in this half. That was, I think, the difference between FUT Esports kind of getting on the board and getting a 4 or 5 round lead, and then Liquid building back in and bringing it within 1.
Well, Redgar looks in a good mood, though. So, look, I think this is all just learning. These early games, I'm just purely here as it feels like a spectator to see what they've been up to, what they've been working on, what they've been building towards. I think yesterday we saw that in droves, right? That kind of reimagination of rosters, how far they can go and what it looks like. Carmine Core, perfect example. I think really starting to step in to their role, step into what they could become. So I see a little bit more of that now from Liquid. See how they fare in the second half. A close affair so far at 5-7. FUT, yes, have the upper hand, but that was their strongest side historically when it's come to this map.
Sayf still stretching his legs as well. Leading the scoreboard here overall on Lotus. And this is the half you hope he's got that confidence built up.
Poison orb emitting.
But I also really want to see the support behind Sayf.
Poison's off.
I don't want to see him just, you know...
Well, yeah, I mean, these
solo
neon comps, it relies so much on the initiators to really enable success. And that's when you talk about teams being disjointed and offbeat, off sync with each other.
Ratty little setup.
Yeah, very ratty.
Yeah, should be a little bit of a glimpse there. Saw a couple of those pistol barrels. qRaxs gonna find Redgar, Kiwi, soulcas. They're diving into the action. TAtaKaptan controlling the door the entire time. But it's safe for Nat, so not out of the woods just yet in a 1v2.
47 HP for Nats, though.
Well,
He's got to try and find this kill.
Yeah.
MrFaliN is closing in on him. The wall just goes up in time.
Process of elimination, though, they're going to start working out where he is, and that spike is going to be very much in the forefront of their minds.
30 seconds
FALIN's
left.
on to probably check this, and he gets it. Nats goes down, and FUT do give themselves that little advantage now in the second half to tear that lead back away from Liquid.
It's unfortunate. A lot of damage comes ahead of that smoke popping on the top of the rope. Not even sure who the first person to cross there is, but a ton of damage comes through, and qRaxs, I think, is the one that finds that first onto Redgar. Timing's ever so slightly off for Liquid. Big round for FUT, though. Couple of sheriffs, couple of pistols to work with. Look at the utility, just to prevent any TP coming across from Redgar. I'm curious if that's the approach, a complete contrast to how we saw Liquid approach that rubble control early on.
Where does Liquid try and find any sort of favorable fight? With just those classic sheriffs and bits and pieces. Yeah, a couple of upgrades, but nothing mad. We've gotten relatively close here towards 8.
Sure, actually, you see the ping come through there. Can they cross ahead of that wall? No, there's not enough space there.
No, and looking like they're on a chopping block, but only for a second. Redgar's got the fight back, but TAtaKaptan going to keep them at arm's length, farms them down, mows them down, and Kiwi to just secure. So 4 staying standing for FUT. Should be able to build off the back of this now, and Liquid yet to really strike damage here.
Go, go, go.
Definitely much weaker this time around with a round 3 purchase, but at least going to get 1 rifle on the board in the hands of Kiwi. Liquid lead a round win here. FUT already reaching double digits. This Logitech G power-up round.
Well, this is the one, right? This is meant to bring us, you know, Liquid 6th. But how much damage can you do? Could you potentially even convert it?
Interesting setup here behind the wall. Look, this pinch comes through
Oh,
the door.
the
The flash is beautiful.
Oh my word. Now, fortunately, Redgar is nuts, apparently, and will still get Kiwi, because that flash was from, oh, like a mile away.
Upgraded
Perfect.
rifle, though. Should be able to retrieve that.
That's fortunate.
Now, qRaxs and FALIN both have rifles to work with here, and it's a straight 4v4. And control this rotating door.
Kind of take those. Oh, FALIN. You've got a time limit on your bird. Oh, God, he's surrounded. Oh, he's been caught. Sayf found him. And the C site looks vulnerable. It looks open and ready for the taking, but there are still qRaxs not too far away. The paranoia sent just to ensure safety and should facilitate the spike going down now.
Placing sentry.
Put it here nice and early, though.
Planted.
Sure, soulcas.
Dangerous. Oh my word, and Redgar! He's down to 5 HP.
Eyes towards CT here. Atta's
Nada.
very close by already.
Sayf, really heads up play though, still checks on it. MOJJ in a 1v2 now, one weaker than the other. Sayf should be where it stops, and it is. Liquid get across the line here. Up to their 6th, but it was dicey as hell.
50 HP between them. Unfortunate, Ata doesn't get a good timing there on Sayf. Diligent clearance from him.
Look at this soul setup.
Set piece again, it pops just above the Viper wall.
It's beautiful.
Again,
Luckily,
Redgar, yeah,
just
playing
around the
so
corner,
deep.
yeah.
He's actually not affected by that flash. I mean, all intents and purposes, that could have been 2 off the rip there for FUT Esports.
I like that though. I really like that little setup. Let's see that in play. Now we see the full buy coming back in this time around for FUT though. On the other side, do have that Bulldog with soulcas, but that's the only real caveat to this purchase. And what looks like a 3-2 split so far.
And heavy emphasis towards C from FUT Esports. Whether or not they're going to get proactive once again, it's only Nats on the other side of it this time. Fallen does peel away. Leaving just qRaxs to pick up the slack on the other side of the map.
Now, that should be pretty telling. Let's see what their patience is like. You're going to see that test over there between Nats and TAtaKaptan on C. You still have that presence from Redgar as well. So this is not all what it seems. And there's the adjustment, the pivot point. It's going to be looking towards B. Yes, they lent a little towards A early on, but the rotations, again, are pretty close by.
Big knife from qRaxs, though. It tells that there's 2 members of Liquid disconnected from this. And that's he's still hiding here, not ready for Ata to hard clear him. That opens so many possibilities here with the door. It forces Liquid back onto the A side of the map.
It's and it makes Redgar sit even deeper because now he has to worry about it. There's the underhand flash though, in towards the site. Shot from qRaxs gets down soulcas, but the answer is perfect. Redgar and Sayf in unison shut them down. Down to near on even. Oh, Jamppi! Huge 2 kills as the Seekers.
I've got your
And now
trail.
TAtaKaptan has to make a choice. It ain't an easy one. Flash to follow. Goes in. Jamppi's going to check. Jamppi needs to check. He's got it. Jamppi with 3 kills. And just about keeping this round in hand, because that looked like it was going to be FUT all day long.
A massive bailout round from Jamppi.
Big round.
Like I said, Liquid forced into a very precarious spot. As soon as that kill comes onto Nats, they lose control of that rotating door. And Liquid have to make a decision.
One enemy remaining.
And at first, you're a little concerned that they do decide to back away towards A side. Yeah, and a little frustrating, considering the early win there in that retake. FUT Esports back down to Sheriffs already. This is the round, really, where Liquid can get themselves back in this half.
Looking quite willing to scrap it out. Dangerous game, though. Lots of bodies behind that. And Kiwi's on the way. And, well, he is deleted as quickly as he came around that corner.
Got some info. Big info there.
There's a few of them. And sadly for Ada, he does just have that Sheriff. So that's not going to be a pretty fight for him. He did get his little victory, though, over Nats in that prior.
Poison's off.
You can see Team Liquid starting to go through the protocol list. And he's going to see a little bit here. Tries to go for a little bit of a time purchase because that 3-play stack is working over towards A, but it's still so far away.
Yeah, Liquid can just wait this out. That's the last snake bite that's going to come from Ata. Safe. Good on the entry as well. Plenty of time here. No pressure towards the back line. So Jamppi will rejoin the rest of his team. Redgar actually good for the first qRaxs. The second swing will find it.
And they instantly shift to that deeper hold. Make it so tricky for these Sheriffs to find any play back in. Still a lot of utility on qRaxs, though, so they might be able to facilitate crossing into the site. Maybe? Oh, they've actually got a rifle, though. What will they do with it now? There is no further layers to this. All of Liquid's players are still posted on the site itself.
Maybe just looking to punish, find an exit. And conscious here that Nats and soulcas are very close to their ultimates, don't necessarily want to give these kills away. That will be the 8th for Liquid. Clawed their way back into this half. Still, I feel like it's FUT Esports attempting to be the initiators in some of these rounds. Now, as it gets a little closer, I'm curious as to how that will play out.
Bye-bye.
Looks even worse from the other way around.
Yeah, it's really unpleasant to witness, actually. It's like, oh, didn't do well. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Sayf, though. Again, it's not about Sayf as a player. I doubted the supporting system around him.
Yeah.
I wanted to see him really put into positions to succeed because he's one of those incredible talents who I don't think gets the credit he deserves a lot of the time. But seeing it in the series, this isn't bad. Now, Viper's Pit this time around. Invested from TAtaKaptan towards that B site, so going to try and at least eliminate a large portion of access to the middle of this map.
We'll see what the second layer to this is. This is a Kiwi being posted up here. That's going to disable all of the Killjoy utility. I mean, MOJJ not even going to try and peel away from it. It's only 2 to hold this side. MrFaliN, not good for the first there. Jamppi will deal with the second as well.
Brutality on approach, 2 back-to-back kills. And it's perfect, the pace change, the gear shift. Stunning. And sadly for TAtaKaptan, he feels irrelevant to this round now. The last 2 going to try and filter through from CT, but where are you going to find the players? Already noted on the back of the flash coming out from Jamppi. And they're getting proactive through the connector. Sayf, going to find TAtaKaptan. And now just to qRaxs and Kiwi to face the music. And Kiwi, there's nowhere to run. Redgar is hunting you down. Bye-bye. We're all tied up, and it's a clean round from Liquid.
And the decisive approach, as soon as that Viper's Pit is revealed on B, the read is perfect. The adjustment's going to be MOJJ playing on C site. The null command completely ripping away any stopping power. Like I said, FALN was here nice and early, but unable to really get anything done. I don't even think actually there's any option for MOJJ to avoid that second ping on the null command to make use of his utility. I think finally, actually, as the score timed up 9 apiece, FUT Esports have to take a moment.
And this is when we question the depth, because this side, they have been tested on before, right? We've seen them kind of pushed a couple of times, but then they always had that second half to depend upon where they really started to run away with it. Now we're seeing Liquid testing them here. This is the depth getting tested. We didn't really see that too much. You know, they came out of the gate swinging over in Brazil. They still had that very much in the pocket, a little bit of a closer game prior. But now we're seeing a good challenge. And I've got to say, Liquid look quite robust. It's not perfect, but it's much better than before. Looking like a couple of set pieces, some nice reads, working as 5, because as said, it felt like they were reading from different books at times. Now we're seeing them seemingly read from the same script. This could be a much better look for Liquid.
Yeah, and I guess the comparison to make is the lack of commitment in the early round from FUT Esports here on the defensive half.
Yeah,
you can see a totally different approach on their attack. You can see the plan, it's laid out, it's structured. Here it's, I mean, it's not often, really, we talk about Liquid catching teams off guard and being ahead of the reads. But we're definitely seeing it here. I said Sayf having a standout performance here on the Neon. Pivotal to Liquid's success here in the second half as well. Again, only Sheriffs to work with here. Kiwi does have his ultimate. He's looking to make this as costly as possible, although Liquid already built up a hell of a bankroll.
Yep, you've got 7K out there.
Cool.
There's a
Redgar.
little bit of an angle,
yeah.
careful. Yeah, oh, and it's a shot. Redgar, precise as ever, finding qRaxs, and that's now a site looking way more vulnerable. Does it cause a rotation or an over-aggress? See what FUT called for.
Haven't seen that spot punished very often there, so with the smoke down, qRaxs is just shouldering that to check that nobody is slipping through. It's a freebie to open this round for Liquid. And FUT Esports, about where they need to be. This turret, though, the worst timing possible.
Yeah.
Would have taken contact, but they were already drifted away from B site. I think the expectation is they find that pick on C, Liquid are going to look towards A immediately.
And I'm looking at Nats in spawn, waiting to see if anyone goes the long way around or if he's got anything ratty up his sleeve. Nice little paranoia.
The dump of utility.
Yeah, just buying so many seconds with this. There's really not much available with it, is there? See if Sayf can do a bit of damage on the way in. Paranoia's going to force him away. soulcas comfortable. Nothing to do here, really. No Liquid. Very comfy with this. And Kiwi given no chance. It was a brick wall on the way back in. No overstep, no over-aggress, no sloppy plays. We're seeing Liquid looking like a full 5 finally.
Kiwi will take his exit. And a flawless round for Liquid as they're finally in the lead, in control of this game. Like I said, that bankroll established now, cemented for Liquid, just about coming back onto another ultimate cycle as well.
Yep. But on the other side of things, Kiwi with the operator, something that actually looked very good in his hands. Hyper mobile before, we saw him really kind of playing through the map. Haven't seen it this series, and well, probably not had much of a chance with the economy where it's been. I don't know if it's going to work out as well here against Liquid, but I'm happy to see it tested or tried. And it looks like we're going to get that fight right about now, but the pace is quick. Sayf off to a decent bounding start, and he's got a fight on his hands here. Kiwi actually forced away, has to respect that smoke and look for a new position towards the site.
He slipped back in. How far forward, sorry, the Liquid decide to push this one. First time there's really been any pop outside of Rubble on their attacking half. Other than that pistol, roll your minds back. Timing on the null command here, but that might just be the green light for Liquid to peel away. There's still plenty of time here. And arguably a total waste of the ultimate in terms of value. It just about stops the execute from coming through, but Liquid haven't burnt up any utility ahead of this.
Oh!
And Sayf!
That's a belter of a shot. Sayf just finds Kiwi with an operator. Watching that angle specifically. God damn, he's quick. soulcas
Spike down.
kind of giving up that advantage a little bit now, making this side take a little bit trickier. The flash did force qRaxs away to a deeper angle, gives Jamppi the fight, but qRaxs double dips on it, takes down Jamppi. And now this problem's galore. They might have a safe plan here just because of the Viper's Pit, but they're going to be surrounded.
Sayf and qRaxs are right next to each other.
Bloody hell, he's so dangerous right now, and qRaxs is just working his way around the outside of that smoke. Who's going to step in first?
I mean, this is unlosable for Liquid. Look at where the Viper's Pit covers towards tree. There's no way they should be losing this now.
Well, they know where they all are. You're going to have MOJJ now pulled across here. A little bit of chip damage done towards Sayf. He is down to 60. And now when the first player comes in, Sayf with the spray! But he only gets 2. He leaves Nats in the 1v2. Oh my word, he's under so much pressure! They have the players alive! And FUT put body after body on the line. And they succeed here with the defuse.
I mean, when you see Sayf not spammed off that corner initially, you think, yeah, he's good for the 1 or the 2. He gets that. And FUT Esports still weather the storm inside that Viper's Pit. You see Nats just banking on the decay, doing enough damage to make use of that shorty. And now it's Liquid.
God, that shot.
Yeah, it's beautiful from Sayf.
Sayf is such a mechanically gifted player. As I said, I do feel like sometimes he just doesn't get his, his flowers, his credit for his performance sometimes, but man, nice to see him here in a little bit of a stride here. But still, Liquid have pumped the brakes, right? It's 10 apiece, tied up even enough. Time to slow things down. Time to have a conversation about this one. I do wonder what the adjustment will be coming off the back of this.
Because actually Kiwi did save that operator across as well. But not, we do see a different approach. Again, kind of nullified in the early round from Liquid's respect, I guess, to qRaxs popping the null command ahead of that execute, but definitely have to maintain this cautious approach as they have had. Again, their ability to isolate, thinking back to that Redgar pick onto qRaxs in that anti-eco. The ability to kind of negate any early pressure from FUT Esports, but it's kind of been lacking for me. I was talking about how decisive they're willing to be on the attack. We haven't seen that approach in the second half whatsoever.
No, you're right. Both
Someone's
coaches.
not happy about it.
Very animated.
Yeah.
A lot of movement. Oh, what do you think?
The camera angle's still pointing in the right direction though, so
Yeah.
Vlad's definitely taken that trophy for the entire season.
That is great. I mean, have we seen a bar yet? We need to see the bar.
We haven't got much bar B-well. We did have a
Yeah,
bar
yeah,
here
yeah.
in the arena the other day.
Need to get bar back out there, because then you can get,
Gold.
yeah, truly.
Here's a gold mine of footage. Yeah, looking for Kiwi really to become a little more aggressive here.
I need him to be activated.
Looking at the purchase, MOJJ is on a judge.
Okay.
I think I see rifles for everyone else. No, actually, MrFaliN down on a Spectre. And Atta's going to be struggling as well. Maybe just toying the idea of dropping some utility. Yeah, light shield and a rifle. This is an awkward purchase, to say the least. Kiwi does have the ultimate behind this operator, but it's looking fairly invested from Liquid here towards Rubble once again at the opener.
Show me what you got, Kiwi. This is your chance, but they are so hyper-aware of this position now. How does he play this time? Sayf is on the hunt. Close the gap, get in his face, and already going to look a little towards the left. Nothing there, nothing to be seen. They've taken that opening space towards A. Forced Kiwi back to this deeper angle, and again, next layer. Another smoke committed nice and deep. They don't quite fully check the corner, so that could be something they're a little cautious about. Kiwi is still patrolling this, but he's been given no chance here to really do any early damage. Forced almost instantly into a retake. They know the dog didn't clear this completely.
Yeah.
He has to be so aware of this now, and yeah, there it is, Kiwi punished. Redgar maybe a little ahead of himself. Now, Fragment comes in, gonna slow this down a bit. Has a little look, but finds nothing. It's safe to find FALIN. Drop down comes in, soulcas on the site. A 3v3, Kiwi, qRaxs, and TAtaKaptan looking for the next step. And they absolutely are. The ults come through, and the spam, Jamppi's still standing. They're buying time on the spike, Mike.
There's a snakebite lineup coming from that side. That's going to buy a little bit of time to regroup. The Liquid have to get back onto this. Angle for the wallbang to come through, but FUT finding all the kills. Atta finds the final blow. Nats will fall, and the defuse will come through.
My ultimate is ready.
The game plan built around that angle, the snakebite to land, and the ability to wallbang that box. But a couple of members of Liquid falling way ahead of the curve there.
And the early game looked good, right? The early approach looked fantastic, really forcing Kiwi so far away. He was almost irrelevant to that entire round until the end.
It's the silent drop down that Redgar just catches Redgar completely off guard. I mean, even there you noted the Trailblazer not clearing it all the way into that corner. Need that second layer. There needs to be a flash in there from either soulcas or from Jamppi to make sure that they have that space. There's no curveball coming through in that retake. The last time we did see a very quick decision made based on this Viper's Pit. No command here from soulcas.
Do they have anything to get them on there?
I mean, will it be the same execute on the back of that Viper's Pit? This time around, adjustment of the Killjoy setup as well. MOJJ playing much deeper just to try and set up MrFaliN with the paranoia on that util.
Okay, Seekers have gone in. You can already see Sayf trying to close. Oh my god, FALIN, perfect play. Denies Sayf instantly, trying to springboard in towards the side of the back of the util. FUT are so aware of what Liquid wanted to do. The adjustment on the setup, as you noted, allows them so much more success on it. And even with just that stinger, it works out well. And now Liquid have nowhere to go.
I think this is exactly the same rinse and repeat plan. The knife is intended to find MOJJ, but beautiful adjustment. qRaxs here. Is he just going to flash straight out of this? Not at 33 HP.
Jamppi got hungry for it too.
For the shorty.
Chomping at the bit. And they've been good at holding this though, to be fair. But the lockdown's going to make it a problem. One flash to play with. Nats is so deep on this. He is rapid for this. But do they check? Oh, what?
My God!
Kiwi almost got the follow-up. Jamppi left on 20, but they are somehow clawing this back to a 2v2. It ain't over yet. Jamppi gets attacked. No frag
Redgar's
to follow.
detained!
Redgar's detained. FALIN's got him! It's going to be 12. The fuse is there. And they made it damn close. They made a fight out of it. But FUT make it to 12.
The only saving grace. Liquid, money left to buy here. Some ultimates. The second kill here from MOJJ is so key. To catch one member of Liquid peeling away from this C site here. Fantastic adjustment here. Knowing exactly what the decision was that Liquid made based on that Viper's Pit, they show it again. They almost welcome Liquid into that C-site execute. And Liquid take the bait.
You've got to be feeling good about that one if you're FUT as well. You've got to be feeling good about it.
Anti-Stratton on the fly.
On the fly. Just off the back of one Viper's Pit that you invest, you got that perfect read. And on the other side, flip the script. Frustration for Liquid. Again, it worked wonders before. Now with that adjusted deeper setup, that deeper positioning coming out from MOJJ, it was gorgeous. And you saw the direct problem with that. As soon as Sayf went in, he was just blended down. There was no way he could have done anything
I
about
mean, the problem being there, even if Sayf's not cut ahead of those nano swarms, and I mean, obviously, credit to soulcas in investing the knife and actually catching somebody on site there, because the paranoia makes it even worse. If there's that split-second kind of desperate decision where somebody tries to follow up onto Sayf, they're then caught by the paranoia as well.
Yeah.
And once the knife's invested, MOJJ can push forward. He can be the second piece of the puzzle there.
There's 3 in the row now for FUT, breaking that lovely run back. But now they've got to dig deep here, Liquid. What do you have in the store for us? How much is in the tank? Galley work from Sayf. It's going to be FALLEN to be tested first. Haven't seen this much commitment from Sayf solo. Yes, there was one singular flash send with him, but...
Jamppi the one to retrieve the orb here. soulcas one away from no command. No, is Jamppi expecting 3 kills? I mean, with FUT on 12, you'd almost just put an extra ultimate in the bank here.
Yeah, well, why not? Doesn't quite make sense to me.
Unless they can get control of this orb as well. And that was the plan from the get-go, but...
If you're wondering. Showing presence, but I'm looking to see if they put bodies behind it. Kiwi looking for an adjusted angle this time as well. See if he sticks around here a little longer this time. We'll be able to catch that cross if they do try and commit up deeper.
He's playing deep enough as well where it should negate Jamppi's splash, but a good flash through door. Sayf will punish on the back of it. MOJJ will fall.
He is left a little wounded, but FUT have bodies here. There's 3 players on the other
Big
side
tag
to
onto
this.
Redgar.
Huge tag, but the site is now under pressure. Plant's going to come in, FALLEN, moves forward, punishes Redgar from the back of that tag. Plant gets denied, tries to get away, can't get away for free. Nat's going to find him and drag him back down. It's a 3v3, and the Plant's in.
Actually, with the plant, soulcas will get the null command. Popped very early, though. FUT haven't even encroached on this retake just yet. Kiwi desperately trying to work an angle here. Look at this flank, though. Nat's got to be aware of Atta swinging through this door. He's going to win the 1v1.
I can't believe it. Nats goes down, and now you're going to be worried about Sayf and soulcas, surely. soulcas needs some beautiful shots here, something to go their way. They're drawing all that utility out. No commitment on the defuse, but they do get the frag. Now 2v2. Looking for a
God!
qRaxs! He's got both of them!
No way, man!
He finds both, but somehow correct the ship. It was looking like it was sinking. There were so many rounds in a row for Liquid that looked like they had that perfect solution to this map. Then it falls to pieces.
Absolutely. FUT Esports looking as if they were feeling the heat. I mean, that timeout coming through wasn't a major adjustment in terms of the approach to the defensive rounds, but
yeah.
Wow. Ends with arguably what you got to call a bit of a blunder on the side of Team Liquid there. Getting funneled in there, Nats has to win that 1v1.
Which you thought he was good for, right?
Yep.
Like every day of the week.
Atta's so late as well
And
to be coming back
like,
through the door.
Guess I'm coming in this way. And you think it's Nats, right? Just like stone cold, always chill. Not the case. I mean, yeah, I'm a little stun-locked with that one because, again, those late-game reads coming out from FUT were just outstanding. The counter to the ult coming through, at least the counter read to the ult.
Yeah.
So many cool things happening in that matchup, and I still can't believe that FUT actually claimed that back. I thought that was going to be Liquid's for some time.
Maintaining the clean sheet on Lotus. Love to see it.
All right, guys, do stick around. That's just the first map. We potentially have 2 more to come up. Do not go anywhere.
Zero distraction. Zero doubt. Zero opposition.
gives you wings.
The EMEA VCT bangers galore continues with a map win there for FUT over Team Liquid. I'm your host Yingsu and I'm back here with Zesht and Ender. I don't know where that was going to go at the end. Honestly, I thought Liquid, maybe they had it as they came back. But Zesht, something happened there and FUT just had the read in the last 3 rounds.
Hey, great progression, no overtime. That's a good start of the day. We can start with that one, but fully agree, right? It looked a little dire and odd at the start for FUT Billies because Team Liquid was starting to do a bit more of the proactive play that I enjoyed a lot. Sure, it was not as many attack rounds as we expected from them, considering previously the Heretics game. It looked shaky, but it turned out to be better than expected.
Yeah, they were able to get 7 rounds on their on their first half, and then in the second half, it was that sort of streak where Team Liquid were able to put a lot of rounds on the board. But I think when it came down to it, like FUT showed very similar things to the previous time. There were so many continual C hits. I think Team Liquid actually tried to come up with a lot of unique ways of countering it, whether it was like multi-man flanks, 3 different players trying to open the door and sort of fight them as they're entering the site. But even with all of those nuances to try and catch out FUT in those C hits, I think FUT actually dealt really well with that during the attack.
And the most interesting part, you talk about the diversity of ways how to shut down FUT on their attack. They even put Redgar on an operator on consecutive rounds, which was a little odd because he played like 7% of the times in full buy rounds in 2022. And to put him on that was odd when you have such great operator players.
I will say, like player-wise, it is odd, but I think Omen is a fantastic operator, especially when you're not playing a Jet composition. Because yes, you have to win your fight more than a Jet would, who can instantly teleport away. But Omen's TP allows him to work, and you can see take a very forward angle, especially over towards Mound, outside the C site. Then TP if he gets CC'd or anything like that, and just CC'd. CC'd. Look,
this is Valorant, Christy.
I know it is, but we need more terms because there's concusses, there's flashes, there's near sights, there's you know.
Next thing you're gonna say Xeri, by the way. It's
no,
neon.
I would never.
Neon.
I would never. I say neon all the time.
Yeah, it is neon.
But I love that element that I don't think they showed on their previous Lotus maps.
No, I don't think. I think you're right there. But there was a couple of rounds as well that just went back and forth and back and forth. And round 16 in particular, Christy, had a lot of implications as to how the rest of the map was.
So one of the big things is Team Liquid is a classic light armor team, right? Right, they're going for light armor. It means they can buy virtually every single round. Whereas FUT go for the heavy armor. And what this means is there's way more swing rounds. Rounds where if you lose them as against FUT, you don't get to buy in the falling, whereas Team Liquid always would. Round 16 was one of those, and this ended up hurting FUT a lot because previous to round 16, the scoreline was 9-6, right? FUT end up losing in this. It comes down to a 1 versus 1 that Jamppi ends up clutching up at the very end. But then they have to save in the next round, so they lose that. Round 18, it's another swing round that they again end up losing. So all of a sudden, from a 9-6 scoreline, it goes to 10-9 in favor of Liquid with only 2 legitimate rounds that FUT got to play. And I think that shows the power of the light armor purchase. You've had 4 opportunities to try and counteract Liquid.
And that is one of the great examples, right? Because we had in the history of Valorant a few teams that tried to incorporate that light armor. Everyone was laughing at them for the beginning, and then everyone's like, yeah, it actually adds up because you usually die one-shot headshot anyway if you have a fair fight. So it becomes a really important trend that not every team has picked up yet, but I think every team should actually pick up because 600 credits difference, and you add that up and multiply it.
How the tides have turned. I feel like just a few months ago, everyone's like, what are Fnatic smoking? This does not work. But the way that this game ended, it came from that pause, right? The tech pause coming, not the tech pause, the actual pause, tag pause coming in. FUT really utilized it quite well. The coaches, they put a lot of great strategy into this. They managed to close it out. And as always, the coaches end up get so animated in this game. I love it so much.
It's actually crazy. We saw in the rollout all the players yelling, screaming, going absolutely ballistic. But these guys, sometimes teammates can't even hear them. They're just still yelling and going absolutely nuts between the rounds, which you love to see.
Particularly, it makes me really sad to see Emil sad. You know, it's he's smiling here. He's still. This was where it was good. This was where it could have worked, right? But at the same time, it is wonderful to watch it. Guys is having a good time because honestly, you know, in the past it wasn't always.
Does this look like he's having a good time?
No, he is not having fun.
Not for now.
Time.
But you're going to see a few clips where he's excited. Now he's obviously upset. Now he's saying, "What in God's name are you playing?" But it's going to be better over the course of those wonderful clips.
What do you call that, like a fair weather coach? You know, it's like, oh, you have fair weather friend, right? I guess that he's not leaving them when they're doing poorly, but he's definitely not happy with it.
Yeah, I also love how animated they get. I love it. I love it. And one thing I think we were setting up how great Sayf was doing. He's having, on that new role, he's finding a lot of the fragging potential we knew he could do. Against Kiwi as well, I think we were already excited about this matchup, but in the end, it was a little bit one-sided. I think Sayf might have had Kiwi's number a few times.
I mean, I vividly remember how Sayf was swinging into Kiwi's operator on Def, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to one-tap you, and you're not going to even stand a chance. 335 ACS, that's a great number, but nearly 200 damage per round, missing a 0.1 to be very accurate, is amazing. And this shows once more what Sayf is capable of doing, not only mid-round calling and assisting Redgar in that regard, but also finding those kills, this very crucial space, particularly on the defender side with a Neon.
Bigger number, better player. Checks out. All right, noted. I will say, too, for Kiwi, this has been a consistent thing, because on the previous time playing Lotus 2, he was, I believe, bottom fragging or near the bottom of the standings, and that was the map who was it? Fallen that was top fragging, I believe, at the end of the day. Yeah, so I mean, maybe some things there. Neon on this map, a little bit harder to implement with the rest of the team, but it's something that's going to need to improve for them moving forward, I think, even regardless of this one.
I mean, it shows that FUT, they can win without Kiwi doing
important.
all the work. That's kind of crazy,
nuts.
right?
And I think a lot of that actually came down to they ended up winning both pistol rounds. You talk about swing rounds, pistol rounds, another one of those swings. That's effectively 4 rounds that they had to pad themselves going in there, and the fact that they were able to win those big rounds at the very end. I think that sort of buttons up nicely how this game went for them, because they struggled in the middle sections of the game. Outside of the pistols, in the middle, it was at the very beginning and the very end where they really came out strong.
Well, FUT, they're 1-0 up, but we're heading into map 2, and I can inform you guys of a roster change. MrFaliN alluded to this the last time we spoke to him. They do have a 6-man roster, and MOJJ will be stepping into play split. His most played agents are Soba, Sky, and KO. This is not someone that's just kind of a substitute or a bench warmer. He's been on this roster for a while. He's been on BBL for ages. He is a Turkish legend.
And don't get mistaken, like, if you're new to the scene or anything like this, like me perhaps, MOJJ, different people. Sounds very similar. FUT is just the MOJJ pit of those names. It's absolutely nuts, but different people.
No, I'm looking forward to Pansy and Hypok having to get around that every single time they play together. But Vincent, of course, in the EMEA, MOJJ has been around for a long time. You know, he is someone a lot of the Turkish fans love to see and watch him play. But the fact is, he does have a different agent pool to TATA, who is going to be stepping out. Do you think think maybe this is the reason that they need MOJJ to play some of those maps?
It seems like it, right? Because when we take a look at the strengths of somebody like him, it is basically the matter of fact that he's a great initiator. I think you can say it like that. And him being a great initiator is then like a comfort. Maybe TAtaKaptan's like, I'm not really strong. This is not my strong suit. This is not what I'm comfortable with. And Split requires, as we have seen time and time again in the recent meta, at least a good Sky, for example. You can make it a Breach, but let's stick with the Sky for now for the sake of my own predictions. So I will definitely say this could be a very solid and strong move to say, what, you know, Adam, you're not comfortable with it? We got a 6-man, an experienced 6-man.
Yeah, and I think that this is something perhaps we see more teams use if their players are a little bit more specialized in terms of roles. This year has introduced a lot of different variety, I think, in terms of team comps. With the exclusion of Chamber, I think there are a lot more teams that have been trying out like double duelist comps or double smokes comps. So the question is now, as we move over to Split, do they go away from double smokes to play double initiator with MOJJ coming in? Because that would make a lot of sense to me, even though this is one of the maps where you can run those double smokes.
Well, MOJJ locks in that Sky. That's not really a surprise. He's playing that a lot these days.
Yeah, and we particularly see a Sage coming in, which sounds like a classic, but usually is not used that much anymore. Sayf is on the Jet, which is very comforting to see, and it's not too crazy off the composition. We go in double initiated territory of FUT, who use both Sky as well as KO. Instead of a Killjoy, both parties use the Cypher. I think that is not too much of a crazy surprise, but obviously also the controller, very different.
I think this is going to be something we see more of from FUT, is activating the 6th man when on maps, depending when they want to go double initiator or controller.
And most importantly, the great part is, I think on the FUT side, is they have a KO, they have a Raze, and they have an Astra. I think this screams we can utilize utility to be combined in our takes in comparison to the other side.
Well, it's going to be the debut of MOJJ on this stage here in the Coliseum. Pansy and Hypog, what do you make of this?
All right. Well, we have Split in front of us, Mike, which is a bit of a different discipline coming into this one. We haven't really had much tape on this between these two.
No, we kind of step into the unknown, which for me is a positive to look in at maybe the aspect of the scrapbook from Liquid that they have prepared and really testing some of those things they've gone away and maybe thought about. There isn't any opportunity for anybody to study them. Concern being, look at obviously this composition and the way in which they played around soulcas previously. I know Icebox, very different application of the Sage. We saw some positives to address maybe the concerns we'd have around this, which is, you know, Liquid actually fighting as a team, using util together.
Yeah. I need to see it in a new map.
This is what we're going to see on, Concern being actually as well, they have Sayf obviously flexing onto the Jet here.
Good role for him, though.
There's no util to actually break some of these traps.
No,
but I'm talking obviously about the Cypher traps. Obviously on the other side of things, we do have a Raze, so you could argue there is a little element of a counter to some of that utility, but obviously a lot rides on Sayf carrying across that performance he had on map 1 here, bringing it to the Jet.
I do like Sayf on Jet, though. Historically, quite an impressive player on this agent specifically, but we have to see how it's applied. I mean, Kiwi's certainly no slouch on the Raze. And head-to-head, we dive in. Yeah, they know where they are now. We just have a very good indicator as to where. Liquid on the attack, of course, that means FUT will be on the defending side. Sayf straight to business, and they're so aware of where he wants to be. And he gets left pretty much to his own devices, which gets handled very quickly. Good flash to follow, but Kiwi can adjust by just dipping down towards the site. Yet to really get that backside pillar control. Another great flash to buy some discomfort, really, for Liquid. They've had to relinquish this.
Forced away the investment of the wall as well. Liquid considering this fast re-hit. As just now Kiwi considering the rotation. Jumpspot going to confirm that's going to pull both players of FUT Esports that were thinking about that rotate all the way back towards B. 50 seconds on the clock now. Liquid need a pick or something, some kind of pressure in the next 15 to 20 seconds.
But look, that setup's really nice, though. It is a little bit sparse, but it's enough to... And there, lovely timing on the reflash through towards B main. That kind of keeps them confirmed that, yeah, we want to keep 3 players here and even maybe bring back qRaxs just in case.
30 seconds.
Now, yes, they will note one of the players, but the cross is being watched. It's farming up now. FUT, perfect positioning. I'm so impressed with this. And the counter hit, never letting them get that back pillar control towards the site. Constant pressure. Wonderful control from FUT.
Beautiful cycle of utility as well, particularly from MOJJ stepping onto the stage here. Massive value.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
qRaxs had an impressive pistol round the other day, but
yeah,
that's a cut above. So yeah, a little hesitant from Liquid here to kick things off on split. See how their approach is to A in the second round. Again, not expecting miracles here. A couple of goes to Frenzy as well, I think.
There you go. That tells you everything you need to know. And the Bulldog is on this site, so that does have that capability. I mean, Kiwi has his own as well, but still rough to try and play through. They do have Heaven control, so they've fought for a little bit of space here. That puts it in qRaxs' hands, who's going to sit there and watch a very fine angle. Takes a shot in the dark and does actually connect it. You can see a little bit of damage done towards soulcas there, but fortunately for him, able to heal himself back up. But maybe pump in the brakes for a second, see if they can find anyone out of position. I know Redgar's going for a little bit of a look, but not too much, and an adjustment.
I think Redgar finding the spike, and they're almost expecting somebody to be playing Vents here to capitalize on that. That's why we see this clearance from Liquid, but I'm not sure actually if Nat's spotted MOJJ. He was actually tucked behind Flower. Again, an extra body to be in the fray there for that added information with the spy cam being invested towards B Heaven. MrFaliN will catch a little peek here.
Yeah, and I'm liking the discipline being tested, but so far, FUT are passing every test, right? They're not over-peaking, they're making them work for this. Now, the one bonus for Liquid is they're going to get this close, right? So maybe these pistols could do something. The overswing on the corner works perfectly. Sayf exploding towards the site can at least get them a spike plant. Redgar can only do so much. Bit of damage, though. qRaxs is down to 20. Going to wait on that heal to get him back into business.
soulcas ate a little bit of that damage.
Ooh, yeah, speaking of damage, they are down low. Jamppi, though, making it work. Sayf in unison, and then turn this on his head. Any more of that, though? Because look at the HP. It's low. Oh. Trying to play together. Oh, I didn't need to close in on that. Unbelievable play.
That's the worst weapon you want to have in that scenario as well. soulcas down to like 5 HP. Sayf tagged up as well.
Come off it. Show me it again.
Ridiculous from MOJJ stepping onto the stage in 2 rounds now. Having massive impact.
First one, cool, that's
I thought
fine.
this was going to be a collapse.
Same. And he must have just seen enough. The double dip on it, beautiful. And you got to say, though, Liquid did everything right there. Everything right.
I mean, you can see the byproduct of that. FUT Esports bringing not an awful lot into this. It's just the Bulldog. You want to ride this out, protect that economy as much as possible early on. 2 Sheriffs, 2 Frenzies to round this out. MOJJ, though, actually, early retrieval of the orb. He's going to have the Seekers available already.
FUT trying to take a lot of space here. High emphasis over towards B main. I wonder how much commitment there is behind this.
I think they like the sounds of that Vandal all the way deep
One
in
flash,
spawn.
and they burst. Okay, Paranoia back, so a trade out. And they are blind.
Ooh,
Huh?
what?
How is this happening again, but on the other side? Jamppi's on the run. He wants none of that business. Get back to the rest of the boys, because that is a rifle now back in hand.
Sayf fell in Vents.
Oh, my word.
Opportunity here for Liquid to capitalize and take B site, but it's 3 members of FUT Esports in towards Garage. They have to counter this. They have to take some space, find a kill in CT.
Okay. On the other side, though, falling there. Good shot from Nats. The second, no. Oh, my word, the trade. Okay, so it's a 2v3 still. The other 3 coming through from B main, and they know it. Jamppi now teed up for 2. Overrun! Just drive-bys with frenzies. Say goodbye to your rifles as FUT nab them out of their hands.
I mean, I was criticizing FUT Esports, their inability to get proactive on the defense. We're seeing a totally different approach here. Off the rip in round 3.
Right back to him. I can't believe it.
You can see, as soon as Redgar starts showing presence there, spamming that Vandal into the smoke,
wow.
FUT Esports are happy to dig deep and find that.
Bloody hell, frenzies aren't bad, are they? Why are you buying Vandals, boys? Yeah, fair
exactly,
enough.
What do you do?
Oh.
Kiwi's frenzy hits a little diffy. That's mental.
You just call it Diffy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Frenzy diffy.
Frenzy Diffy, that's... We get paid for this, Michael. It's surprising. Early information, though. They should know that this has been an A-lane. Now, Sayf making no subtleties of this, but they have to answer back in kind, right? You got Sheriffs out, sure, but space being taken to the map. Feeling a little small here for Liquid. They have taken over a little bit of an area. We do have that fight over towards B main, the over-aggress, and it works out well. FUT, again, getting that first blood in. Redgar not really finding much value in these late positionings yet.
And that's him on an island once again. FUT Esports have identified it. They only sent one member forwards. We have MOJJ in this position again. Going Flower with the spy cam towards B Heaven. And he's here to defend A site alongside qRaxs and MrFaliN.
Blinded.
Good. Pause for thought for the time being. It's the same setup once again that's going to be problematic. Obviously, the weapon's very different this time around.
There isn't much support, though, for FALIN, I guess, but he just needs to be careful to not overstay. And the support's become very limited and quite far away. Left. They are going to try and burst around CT, use that as an access point. You can see him slipping back towards site, so MOJJ this time did have an angle to work with, but it is good trades for FUT here. They are still with the upper hand. Yes, losing one. Any more, that's when it gets deadly, and apparently qRaxs, no worries about it. Happy to find him in the end. Yes, losing two, but the scoreline at the end of the day is sitting at 4-0. Their money is going to get way more robust going forward now.
Liquid need a response to this B pressure from FUT Esports early on in this half. Redgar punished again in the previous. Seeing whether or not actually he's just going to slip across the sewers, maybe stack a little closer to this default. Because FUT Esports can kind of leave it for a few rounds now, and that's the adjustment on their part, is to move MOJJ across the B. Again, play for that late lurk.
And again, I like that they're attentive on both sides of the map. Yes, they do that little flip up, right? They switch some of the players over, but it's not like they're not taking space here. And there's players behind it. It's not just a singular mission this time. Liquid, though, going to take middle as a response. But you can see on the other side, qRaxs is positioned for this, and he has the help as well. So it's not just one player. Got to be careful. There it is. First contact made. But again, you're not going to keep committing through this way. It looks like they want to maybe look towards B, but a whole new setup to face over here.
So the reason actually you can hold that vents position is because of Kiwi posted that with that operator. Didn't even note that as part of the purchase here.
Oh, yeah.
Total pace change for the early round. Luckily, the Trailblazer does catch that.
But qRaxs is on
spy cam as well, and MrFaliN rewarded for his aggression.
Does he get away? It looks like he does. qRaxs is going to be here so early off the back of the knife, being fully confident in it, finding no one in towards the vents. So they've just put bodies behind this. FALIN now going to readjust. He's the noted player, right? There are others here, but he's the one they're going to be looking for. Nats and Redgar waiting for this.
They didn't even
Paranoia sends all the damage. It's good. He does do a lot of chip damage, teeing up his teammate. But look who slipped a little further forward. Redgar's still there. MOJJ unaware of this so far. soulcas gets qRaxs, but MOJJ is immovable at the back of the site. He's getting a little low now, a little too much pressure. He takes one with him though. Brings it back to a 1v1. And now with 10 seconds left, can Jamppi do something for Liquid? Kiwi waiting, oh Jamppi! Very fine margin to find that error, but Kiwi punished when he stepped through with the pain shell.
Kiwi desperate to use the pain shell there. With the operator in hand, he can't really charge Jamppi down. MOJJ goes huge for FUT Esports on backside here. Liquid able to scrape around through.
I know exactly where you are.
Last player
But
standing.
even after, actually.
Very nice from Jamppi.
Yeah, FUT Esports getting that early advantage. Didn't even end up dealing with the spy cam. That's why MOJJ is able to relay so much information on that second hit towards Heaven. Could that be the catalyst here for Liquid early on? I'm seeing Redgar positioned outside once again. Kiwi looking for it here behind the Trailblazer. Some tags coming through.
Sayf. Yeah. Oh man, just swatted out of the air. FALIN's got him. 4v4 now. They'd like to go towards kind of Heaven, split through that way. They're just walking forward. Now Jamppi gets a very effective trade, a critical trade at that point. The positions will be now found. There it is, location revealed. They know all of these players. You can see the adjustment. Redgar ready up towards Heaven. Has Jamppi with him there. Nats left on the site. Nats needs to keep cool here. Gonna have a lot of stress coming his way. Gonna hear these steps. He's gonna know there's players here now. Lovely, isolates the first. Dips back a little deeper towards the site. Has the smoke to play around. That is Nats. That's the player you want to be seeing finding that form.
Beautiful cleanup from Nats. No real pressure felt, and actually Liquid slip into a two-man hold towards A Heaven. So that spike in mind, looking for Nats to just do some damage on the way in. Here we go, Liquid looking to string a few together on the back of that initial victory. This starts off very questionable, but they throw Sayf out into no man's land to try and find something. And even then, MrFaliN, I believe, is the one that finds another kill through that smoke. Showstopper available here for Kiwi. But only pistols to work with.
No threats really made of this yet. Tiny bit of chip damage on Sayf, but it's not enough to really be worried about. As it stands, we're looking to see if any of those ratty positions or any of that madness comes back in with the frenzies or sheriffs.
Sayf not backing away from these opening engagements, though, and that's key when you're trailing, especially here. The nature of some of these rounds. We saw him continuing to chip away on Lotus as well. Maybe here with Nats having a quiet map one, if he's going to heat up here on split.
Sees nothing. So again, you know you're up against a broken buy, so maybe expecting some sort of weird stack somewhere. So clearing sight, they've got what they want with that. Let's look how safe the post plants are. All going to go up. Actually, it's falling to find Redgar. They know there's another here. Going to isolate soulcas, who looked a little surprised at that.
Hopefully still holding that.
They've made this pretty... No way! No way! Oh no, qRaxs! He needs to hit the shot. One more bullet to play with. He's got rifles everywhere. He goes back in. Sayf already readjusting though. Nice positional movement. Trying to head around here. Going to put down the fragment towards the ramp. Pings off. Goes for the fight. Sayf.
Where did that fragment go?
God only knows.
It's bounced all the way out on the map somewhere.
Oh.
Right down to the wire. The Liquid now on the brink of tying this up nice and early after a very comfortable start for FUT Esports. I said there's a moment there where soulcas isn't even looking at the wall.
qRaxs made something enough in there, didn't
So
he?
where is that fragment going?
We don't know. We've got our
Sayf
best
just
men on it.
boot it
Yeah.
all the way back into A maze.
Absolutely hoofed it. So pause now coming out from FUT. They want to kind of maybe just take a little bit of a stock as to what's been happening so far, what the adjustments have been, because as you noted correctly, that first run, formidable from them. Stringing together rounds, looking really comfortable. That B main control, high priority, working very well. But there's been an answer now. There's been a response. There's been that answer back. Yeah, a little bit of a heat up from Nats here and there, but across the board, they have had the correct read. Now the answer is, what does FUT do as their own reply?
I'd be curious to see if actually the adjustment that comes from Liquid is to move Nats back into that dedicated lurking role. Maybe invest that camera early towards A, show a little presence, and then team up with Redgar and punish one of these pushes outside. It won't come in this round. We can see MOJJ readjusting back towards B site. It was a much more passive hold in the previous round. We saw this employed. And Kiwi actually back on the operators. I think previously Liquid didn't actually figure out exactly what was going on in this same round. Maybe Kiwi posted deep though this time. He's up towards ramp.
Liquid going through the same checklist where it's actually drifting this way towards mailroom. We haven't seen this too much yet.
But because this camera was, I noted it wasn't dealt with previously. But not anybody from Liquid's actually looking for this.
Okay, Seekers and the flash. And yeah, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? And they're committing. Okay, yeah, right off the back of it, they're taking space. But there's still players on this side that they've yet to really find a fight with. And the opportunity goes. soulcas, Redgar, Unison. Kiwi's still there. Yes, does get soulcas back, so it does drop the spike for merely a second. Kiwi's going to know that bounding across towards the site now. But they have no heaven control. Tough to make that retake work from just CT. Looking for a chance on it. They do get good damage on Redgar, but he's still alive, rifle in hand.
Nats set up to play so late on this as well. We'll find Sayf with that knife. The spam is perfect, though. Kiwi trying to set up the paint shell. qRaxs going to try and flash out. He's punished as well. Just MrFaliN left. Liquid dig their heels in. I think FALIN's really even got an opportunity to find an exit here.
Yeah.
Gun here.
Sayf actually just checking to see if MrFaliN's looking to save that operator. I think that is the plan here, Sayf.
Nice.
Will prevent it from happening.
Big round from Sayf there. Got to say, Liquid like that adjustment. Starting to see them exploiting towards heaven. That wall never getting addressed allows full faith in it's all coming through CT, making it incredibly difficult to play that retake back in, allowing this to happen. Sayf knows his lines. He knows where to be. And punishing accordingly off the back. That operator is no longer in play, and the money is in the bin for FUT here.
Burning up the showstopper as well on the previous. Would have loved to have brought that in. And Kiwi consciously is playing the operator. Has to make use of it when he can. So qRaxs might be setting up a flash here to try and punish the other extremity.
Wait a moment.
Ready for the flash probably here. And gets a clean fight. Oh, he's so prepared. Nats, truly one of the best within this role. Lovely to see him work. So very few threats to be potentially had in this round. You're looking at those sheriffs or the judges being in these positions that you could maybe exploit it, but it's not given many chances here. Lovely work from Liquid.
FUT trying to bait out the information off that neural theft as well. Might as well reposition with this judge, but Liquid wisely drifting towards garage.
Spike drop.
Not running the risk of that close quarters engagement up in male. Find themselves all the way onto site here. MOJJ desperate to try and find something for Kiwi to come and find an upgrade or something.
Nats is letting nothing happen. He's absolutely not allowing it. A bit of an eco Cobra in that regard, but you'll take it when you get it. Just controlling this map. Yeah, no freedom found. The crowd's calling for it. And soulcas steals it, nasty.
Hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
Let them
You love to see Liquid getting ahead,
Yes. Yeah.
especially on this half.
It's 5 rounds now sewn together. Something that we did see a little of, though, even in the prior map, you know, when they were able to actually get the ball rolling. The response late in the day from FUT was absolutely perfect. However, not really seen them be able to do that just yet. The money was broken. They should have a full enough buy this round. Should see that operator back. I want to see what the adjustment's been. They didn't really get to have their way before.
Nats wasn't happy about it as well.
No, he's like,
Come on, man.
soulcas.
What are you doing?
I'm never going to help you plant. Good luck on my box. I mean, that's on you. Sayf, though, going to lead the charge. This looks a little bit more back to business to an extent. Watch that. Going to note the early intent.
I think only noting one, though.
I
Again,
don't think
knife
it's all the
revealing
second.
3, but already Liquid drifted back into sewers. Look at the
Kiwi.
minimap, though. Look at MOJJ.
MOJJ has taken so much space. How far does he take this, though? Because they haven't made progress up ramp. And okay, he went maybe a little bit too far here. Now, how much can he do? He has a little bit of util to play with. The paranoia just about missing. So has his vision beside him. This is now where he gets incredibly tricky to play with. The pop flash through the smoke. He's going to be able to turn enough from this. He's back in business, ready to go. And this has been halting them all. The timing couldn't have been better. Sprays through a smoke and gets away. That's enough. He's been such a nuisance with this now.
Redgar actually commits to the TP.
You
Force
will
MOJJ
not
even
kill
deeper.
my
Get some
ally.
space back, and soulcas invests
Look
the
at the
res.
time, 35 seconds. He's been such a problem, and he shifted away. Lovely. Nats gets denied. Nats trying to maybe take that early step towards the A site. Now, where's the support, though? They're all on B.
Neural theft is going to be huge, but MOJJ has to hold down the fort here.
MOJJ needs at least one, and he's in no man's land. He can't do it. Jamppi breaks in, stealing away the site, and now the paint shell.
He's invested the wrong side.
Not going to find it. There you go. Time irrelevant now. They've got it on their side. And this retake's going to take some time to get into position. We do see MOJJ coming back around. Creeping. Does he find the right timing on Redgar? He does! Takes down Redgar. Game on now. Team Liquid starting to get surrounded on this.
qRaxs has found another soulcas will fall. Safe
nowhere.
now. Has to make a
Look.
decision. He's pulled out with a gravity well.
Oh, and it's all on Jamppi at 1v2. qRaxs could get rest. Back up to 3 maybe. They've got him on his feet, but they've got to get moving now. Jamppi needs to play this time. Has the flash to play with. 3 targets. Gets only 1. Falling on the trade. And FUT are back in the game. Stopping the tear that Liquid were going on.
And it's so curious to see FUT Esports in the setup they were. The res comes through in spawn with 30 seconds left on the A side of the map. MOJJ is still in sushi, I believe, so he should have information. There's no presence towards mid. There's nothing that's drifted through to B main. MOJJ is put in such an awkward spot there. I mean, he's still playing site at that point. There's only going to be one person on A side. Drift into heaven. Get away from site.
Yeah.
This is actually unfortunate that Liquid don't win out this round.
Oh.
Because FUT Esports make totally the wrong adjustment. Maybe a scrambled support to get MOJJ out of there, but awkward to say the least.
Okay, this is looking like a nice little fake. Let's see if Sayf can sell it. He's had some support to it, right? But we did see, even in the last round, Kiwi did stick around on this for quite some time. Oh my god, the timing! He drifts a little wide in middle, and the punish is there. This time, Redgar way more proactive. And now there's problems. MOJJ, no more of a surprise here. Does get the judge back and ready to go. He's under scrutiny though, under stress. Still holds it down for one, but Team Liquid still fighting forward, getting the fights they need. qRaxs gets away, gets to keep his life, but it's a 2v4.
One enemy remaining.
Now just MOJJ left. Bulldog in hand. Redgar still lurking here. Nats just on the edge.
He's got the time right.
Punished at first. Actually Sayf sharp for the headshot on the second. Again, it feels a little dicey there, even with the flash and the Trailblazer. MOJJ pops the judge and they still swing into this.
Yeah, look. You see it.
This time for Kiwi was heartbreaking.
Last round, there was no fight on it, and in that round, he just drifts out a little too wide. Not expecting that late presence from Redgar.
Let's go, boys. Come on.
It does take down quite one of the heavy hitter, right? Who was meant to be holding middle. Had the operator, had everything he needed. Not to be. Two rifles coming into this, one judge, Frenzy and a Sheriff, and FaliN wants to make early impact with it.
Actually retrieving the orb here. Redgar swings through.
Oh, he's got
We'll
both.
find both. Gets the heal as well. Gets him nice and healthy ahead of this site here.
Oh, they're just going on this one. Kiwi's seen enough. Worried, dazed, confused with the shots. Oh, he finally lands. Sayf didn't get what he wanted there. Paint shell posted. Jamppi denied the cross. Bomb not in yet. qRaxs takes down Nats.
It's a
In out of
3v3.
the woods. Suddenly there's problems. That's a rifle in the hands of qRaxs too. Now the plant should be going in pretty soon. Actually, might be denied. No, committed to. Okay. But that should find all three towards the site here.
I don't think Redgar gets impressed by that, though. The swing comes through from Liquid.
Oh,
MOJJ is found the first
soulcas!
Jamppi to respond.
Last
It's a
player
1v1.
standing.
MOJJ, he's down to 11 though. Jamppi up and over! Liquid hold the lead on the half. 5-7 though.
Switching sides.
Very close game.
FUT off to a flying start in this half. Liquid. Ultimately, in one of those questions, I was talking about what was going to be the catalyst.
Yeah.
It actually ended up being that round where Sayf throws himself on the line towards A site. A couple of adjustments here that look very concerning. Early on, Redgar punished a number of times, and late on into that half is when Liquid started throwing bodies behind that B main lurk. Trying to catch MOJJ off guard when they continue to pressure.
What a close half this has been though already. I'm liking this.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm actually really excited for this one, but to waste no time, to make full use of this little bit of a second for these teams to adjust themselves, let's head down to Yinzu with an interview.
The co-founder and owner of BBL, and Simge, who's going to translate a little bit for us. First of all, how are you feeling? Did you get any sleep after what happened last night?
Hiç uyuyamadım gerçekten. Çok zorlu bir geceydi benim için. Aynı zamanda Kemal için, aynı zamanda Okan abi için, diğer ortaklarım için. Ama ben takımın performansından çok memnunum. Çünkü ellerinden geleni sonuna kadar yaptılar ve bütün mücadeleyi gösterdiler. O yüzden biraz üzgünüm ama mutluyum da aynı zamanda.
It was a hard night for all the team, Kemal, Okan, everybody, and he hardly slept. But he is happy with the performance of the team, all the players, and I hope they can still hear me.
Yeah. It's all good.
And he believes in the team that they will perform.
I believe as well. Now, MOJJ, one of your former players of BBL, is currently on the stage playing over there. What have you thought about his performance?
Ya çok yetenekli bir oyuncu zaten. Burada da tekrardan şans bulabildiğine çok sevinçliyim. Kendini de şu anda çok iyi gösteriyor, çok iyi bir performans sergiliyor. Umarım yolu açık olur, kariyerinde daha iyi performanslar sergiler.
He's super proud and he got another chance here and he's proven that he's a great player. He's doing amazing things on stage and in game. He hopes that he achieves many more successes with FUT or in the future.
Çok güzel, çok güzel. Teşekkürler. Thank you so much for the
Ben teşekkür
interview.
ederim.
It's good to have you. And we're going to throw this back to Pansy and Hypog to see what's going to happen in the second half.
So at 5-7, we are getting ourselves prepared for the second half. It's close enough that this still could go very much either way here. Pistol round, incredibly critical to both sides. If Liquid get this one under the belt, one, it'll be, I think, one of the first pistols they win, and two, it could really extend this buffer.
Definitely. Let's see. FUT Esports are playing on approaching this as well.
They've been good on these pistols.
They definitely have. And qRaxs, we talked about his performance so far this week in the pistol rounds. Knife sent over the top here. That's he invested towards. That's going to reveal two towards Ven. That will be the green light for this A-side hit to come through pretty rapidly, I imagine.
Well, he's trying to sell it as quite rapid, but Nat's not seeing anyone cross.
Yeah.
So where's the punch behind this? Okay, a little delayed on that. Let's see what the goer is. Oh dear. Oh dear, you can't give Nats that. Kiwi going down. That's damage from a mile away, but also, where the hell is FALN?
Spike planted.
Maybe just playing late for this gravity well, hoping that his team can buy a hell of a lot of time. I mean, finally, I was going to say, he was still shift walking, but now that the flank's coming through, MrFaliN should have an indication. Sayf, happy to charge that down. Mods will fall.
He got the green
Nats
light
has
and he
read
went.
the look.
There's no shot that Nats is watching for this. Oh my god, he is. Oh my god, he is. FALN's gonna be devastated. He took so long and Liquid. Perfect play. You don't see that every day of the week. How the hell did Nats even read that?
I mean, whether or not he's looking for somebody to slip through screens there, but just the awareness is insane. Little sloppy from FUT Esports on the way through. I was talking about Kiwi being absolutely pivotal in countering some of this utility from Nats. And that's how the first blood goes across in favor of Liquid. Very happy about that one.
Nice slow clap there.
Golf
good.
clap.
Yeah, lovely. But again, a couple of question marks around that for FUT. It was that kind of weird offset of timing. Just felt a bit bizarre, but...
The thing being, when you spot that spy cam in heaven, it's one of the best indicators you're going to get of Nats' whereabouts. So that's why I'm curious, with the smoke goes up on the screen, why that trip isn't dealt with. Sayf, starting this one off, 2 early kills for him. So the Sheriff to work with here in the hands of MrFaliN. Again, a 3v5.
Stop peeking him, really. He's
Yeah.
doing quite well.
Which takes a ton of damage off that one.
Redgar isn't alone. Does have soulcas up towards heaven as well in case he gets further pressure here. This is
Yeah, MOJJ.
probably leave. How long does Redgar keep this up? He's got 15 more bullets to play with. Paranoia too late for this. They're a little further ahead. It's fine. It hits when it matters for Redgar. It looks like it might be 5 standing here. It is 5 alive and safe. No matter where you go, he'll find you. Keeping Liquid moving forward. Almost double digits now on the board. One more and they're there.
I mean, Sayf's had such a good start here. He's actually already got the Blade Storm online.
Beautiful.
That's huge in a round here where he can potentially pass this Bulldog across to a teammate. Again, with Sheriff riding this across, you almost want to see that, but...
Nice ha! Let's go, boys! No more of those jet plays.
See what the decision is at the end of it. Obviously, FUT coming back in here. A couple of cracks in the purchase that light shields to round things out, but rifles across the board nonetheless.
And it looks very much one-sided here for FUT. Heavy emphasis towards that A site. Already going to use the early utility to clear towards ramp and identify Nats. He's having a bit of a rough time here. They have been trying to find him. But again, there is support. Redgar is on this side of the map as well.
Only gets tagged once. Kiwi's used one satchel. I'm not sure why the double satchel doesn't come through with the Trailblazer there.
Missed opportunity.
I mean, there's no trip to save Nats there either. It's just almost caused this panic rotation towards A site. Sayf has explored the rest of the map. Total map control for Liquid here.
They've seen so much towards Heaven. They know exactly what's coming their way. At least 3 players. And we know it's 4. Kiwi towards site, but he's got an uphill struggle on his hands now. Redgar's gone down, and oh, there was some vulnerability towards the back of the site there, but Nat's gonna get it traded out. MOJJ on towards Nats, back and forth, keeping Four standing. Then soulcas still there, clean work from FUT, but it's Sayf's the last alive, and he's dealt with. Even against the odds then, FUT do fight through.
Beautiful cleanup there. I said a panic rotation towards A ends up not even paying off for Liquid.
Right there.
And the reason we don't see the Blade Storm invested to get that operator online nice and early. Liquid opting to just go for light shields here, try and ride the economy as best they can, maximize the number of purchases they get in the second half, and with a lead of 3 rounds,
I am with you.
could actually pay off for them.
I'm looking at Sayf. See the operator out. We'll see what he can do with it. Not going to be given any early chances, as you can see, quite absent towards the A site so far.
Well, I think maybe relaying the information from that previous round that Nat's nearly getting caught off guard, playing very deep.
Yep.
The possibility of that Trailblazer or the satchels coming through from Kiwi. He has already.
He's drifted early. Oh, now this is going to be an interesting
So
fight.
is Jamppi.
Yeah, very... I mean, maybe just reading into the pace that they'd been given early on, but they've actually made the wrong choice here. We can see. It looks like an A end.
I mean, I don't know why an extra person would come across if the plan was to wall Heaven. That trip invent's gone now.
And it's a long rotation. They're going to be behind the curve, right? Like, the site, it's been won so far, basically, by FUT. They need to go through the list of things they need to do, but actually try and get a little ahead of that. They are going to commit bodies to this, though. They've managed to slip through back towards site, so maybe no harm, no foul. Let's find out. soulcas with 3 huge kills. Back-to-back bodies. Make it 4! soulcas on a tear. And FALIN. Oh, it's stolen away, but I guess that's karma for you.
Comes full circle for soulcas.
But 4 lovely kills and the audacity to slip back towards site there.
It takes FUT Esports so long to make a decision in Heaven. You look at the minimap, you think, what a perfect paranoia, by the way, from Redgar. Absolute perfection from him. And yeah, it's so bizarre to see the point at which FUT Esports just stand around and think about what to do next.
They had what they wanted, obviously didn't know it. Sayf finally gets an early test, succeeds very well. Passing with flying colors with that operator. We can see a fast mid pressure off the back. soulcas, ooh, down to 28, needs to try and hem the bleeding here. Yeah, gonna go for a little bit of a closer wall, not maybe ideally what he wanted, but he'll take what he can get here. Has to respect the control that was fought for. They're gonna build up behind this Sayf. On the other side now, you can see them very aware that someone might have a little bit of a look over the top, but no one is.
And only really confirmation of 1 player behind this with number of shots going into the wall. Still 3 members of Liquid going to hold on to this. Sayf looking to find that freebie as they crest this Sage wall.
Oh, this is a good angle for Sayf. No flash either. A dry step out for Kiwi there. There was a flash ready to follow, but there's the trade a bit. Late in the day, soulcas will have to give away the game here, playing up on rafters. Drop down towards the side, they're going in. Nice cross being watched, so soulcas trying to do as much damage as he can, but it ain't enough. It's a 2v2 with 25 seconds on the board. Blanc come in and it can't be denied here.
MOJJ's still got both trips, so they have to be conscious of the flank here as well. Cam set up over towards A, no information on the back of that.
Okay, those flashes are going to get denied. Doesn't get to utilize those, but it's gun in hand, and it's Jamppi and Nats. That's a nasty combo. The timing on MOJJ is pretty important here. Find it, no, Jamppi, he's in there, and now qRaxs has to play ahead of this almost. Try and find a fair fight, which Liquid do not want to give him. Flashes are back, baby, there it is, blinded by the lights. Nats comes around, it's gonna be 11 for Liquid now.
And again, I think the paranoia, that lack of information is the reason we don't see a much deeper crossfire set up there.
My ultimate.
Again, popping the null command is a 2v2. You give away information of that first player's whereabouts.
Yep.
So Liquid are happy to go and hunt. They know qRaxs isn't going to be playing very active on backside there. He's looking to hold a safe angle. Unfortunately, MOJJ has got so much to check playing behind Nubox there. There's no guarantee of a kill for him. Liquid now on 11. FUT Esports did throw investment into that previous. So just be sheriffs here for them. Don't have the benefit of the ultimates. 3 off that showstopper. Kiwi having a very quiet game here on the Rays as well. 6 and 13.
He's not had the best of series. Let's see if they're going to adjust the pace. I mean, this is only with sheriffs though, so Nat's fine on the flash, turned it well enough. Yeah, back to business. Back to the spray, and the prez not answered this time, but support is there. Sayf's on the scene. And yeah, FUT doing some damage, not enough. No stress, no sweat. It's 12 for Liquid now.
I think a little bit of a skill gap here demonstrated on Split. We were talking about stepping into the unknown. Liquid obviously feeling much more comfortable about how to approach this map. A couple of those members of FUT Esports absent here on the second map as well. A big, big gap to fill here. 6 rounds separate them. And Liquid 6 opportunities to close this out.
Cage 3.
Mid control starting for FUT.
Here.
Looks like vents. That's where they wanted to at least clear towards, but that space can be retaken. Jamppi playing with the judge. Redgar, stunning shot. That's Kiwi beheaded. And again, quiet game from him here. This map not looking too favorable either, and Sayf. Similar position as before, and gets an opportunity, but he's got a supporting act. Nats this time in unison. Lovely work together. Retaking the space too. FALLEN's got no safety. Nowhere to fall to. Yes, he'll take down one, but it's a quick trade, and the res is right there. So just 2 alive, try and make this work, and there's just so many bodies in heaven now. MOJJ, I get the idea. Nad's got it too, but he actually loses the fight. So does get at least 1 man down. Could have done with another. And now they're getting a little paranoid.
Redgar actually TP's all the way behind them in spawn to cut off any progress in that direction.
Spike planted.
Trailblazer will come through. Sayf happy to follow, finds the first.
Sayf's having an absolutely blistering map here. And qRaxs, it's inevitable. Liquid back in the game. Map 2 is theirs, and in some convincing fashion.
Absolutely. We were having the conversation before this match started. Even if Liquid came away from this series losing, we were looking for positives. We were looking for that growth, the improvement from what we saw previously.
Yep.
Absolutely seeing that demonstrated here. We saw it on Lotus. We saw a couple of glimmers. But for esports, we know that's where they've looked strong previously. Unable to close that one out. Liquid, though, looking like a different kettle of fish here on Split.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. They look absolutely on the money there. Obviously, that was their map choice, so looking very much drilled on it in comparison. But needless to say, impressive nonetheless. We're seeing a lot of those, I guess, question marks we had with them. How do they feel with Sayf? Do they support him in this? Do they look as though they're 5? I think they do.
Yeah, absolutely. And the concern even coming into this, there was going to be a few examples we saw on Lotus where it's Sayf out. Sayf's creating the space and securing it himself. Here actually on the Jet, and it's always exciting to see Sayf slip onto the Jet, but absolutely standout performance from him.
Well, we've still got 1 map to go now. It's unlocked the 3rd. Ascent is on the horizon. Do not go anywhere.
Hey! 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 Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey!
Zero distraction. 0 doubt. 0 opposition.
Red Bull gives you wings.
What a response from Team Liquid. They were down, but definitely not out. They even up this series by winning on Split. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm back here with Zest and Ender once again. That's the Team Liquid we thought we were going to get.
Yeah, fantastic. Right out of the gate after like the pistol and that sort of thing, got shut down a little bit right there, but then played the rest of their rounds on attack so well, putting them in a very commanding position to eventually close things out on defense.
Hey, I mean, it looked already dangerous when we take a look at the second round. We'll take a look at it later particularly, but it was not promising overall. It was the typical good old footballist, we're gonna wait till you come at us, which doesn't necessarily work when the team is not waiting for the 30-second, the 20-second mark. You gotta bring a bit more to the table, because Liquid is not just any team that just freshly formed and doesn't know anything about the game.
I mean, like you said, they were 4-0 down at one point, and then they won 5 rounds in a row, and the rest, it just felt like they kind of rolled over FUT a little bit there. Ender, do you feel like that was on the side of FUT maybe not being that clued on this map, or just Team Liquid being brilliant?
I think the individual play, especially from Sayf, looked phenomenal, but I also think that FUT were not doing a good job of clearing him away. On the Jett, like the main strength that Jett has as an agent, she can post up and hold like any angle she wants, whether it's normal angles, off angles, all this thing. So when I'm seeing a solo player walk in, MrFaliN walking solo into B main late in a round, without any utility to clear off that angle, and there's just a Jett operator there instantly getting the kill. That cannot be happening against that Jett and against Sayf's Jett.
And overall, the matter of fact is that Liquid was not that overly passive. Once more, just going back a few days, qRaxs was not contesting anything against his team. Not this map, but general sentiment. And when we talk about this one here, it was Liquid working with a lot more map control, which basically set them up for great, like A splits. Let's put it like that, for example. Yeah. Those kind of things really work better because this is hardly a team that contests space. So take as much as you want, explode, and then they might have a problem.
And that A site, usually when you're locking in Cypher, is really hard to break from the attacking side. MOJJ Cypher has, the one-way smokes, has all the trips on site where you can play back sign and get a lot of damage done. But when a team is able to split in through heaven onto that, all of a sudden that Cypher feels way less comfortable playing from back site, and I think that was exposed today.
And when we talk about win conditions again, right, I think one thing that I'm missing for 2 maps now is Kiwi. It sounds harsh, right? But we just saw him on the bottom of the scoreboard with a 114 ACS. Numbers aren't the most relevant thing, and stats are all just lies. But at the end of the day,
stats don't lie. What are you on about?
Stats do kind of lie.
Stats lie.
Look,
you get that, numbers 1 second are numbers, and then you go to math class and they're letters all of a sudden. Like that doesn't make any sense. You're telling me stats are real?
You're telling me that you've ever been to a math class?
I've been to a math class, and you know what they taught me? Correlation doesn't always equal causation. Boom. Stats are a scam.
That's not math.
All right. Okay, we can debate about this. We can debate about this. But what I will say, though, is a lot of people, maybe they're looking at this thinking, TAtaKaptan, he didn't play this map. MOJJ being subbed in there, maybe that was the issue. But I don't think that that's the way that people should be looking at this. MOJJ as someone coming in, obviously to fill that Sky role, as we discussed a little bit. Christy, I thought he had a good performance in the end.
I think so. I mean, immediately running in, and in the second map, you know, didn't have any time on stage to get warm. I'm sure he was playing backstage beforehand, but is able to come away with a 1v3 clutch after his team almost threw the entire round away. Like, TL very nearly just won that eco and were able to turn it around. So very good play from him throughout this map, coming in, fielding into the team, and I believe he's going to be playing on the third map as well.
He does, and you know, it didn't feel for me like, oh, he didn't play for a while. Oh, he's just a sub. Felt like nothing of that. 6-man roster really showing that it can be working a lot. Captain standing up because he's not that strong on that initiator role. And, you know, it didn't feel like he was any dead weight or something. He felt exactly like the kind of piece that you want to see. It is not his fault that they lost his map for certain. He was a crucial piece, period.
Yeah, I think that it's very important when we talk about this substitution coming in, because a lot of people will think of like, oh, a 6th man, that's your emergency sub, right? If someone can't play. That's like the worst out of the players. I do not think that is the case. This is a legitimate 6-man roster where they're going to be swapping him in and out depending on if they need a second initiator, MOJJ in. If they want a second controller, he's out, and they can be very fluid and stick to the best roles their players can play.
Yeah, and very big difference also for the viewers out there. This is not like Kamik, who's a great 6th man, but who comes in when, for example, an Alpha cannot join right now. This is a big difference. This is a dedicated, you play this map because you're stronger on this map.
Yeah, and you guys alluded to it already, but as we move on to Ascend, MOJJ will also be playing this map, so it's not even just the Lakia thing where they only had him play 1 map. It feels like MOJJ is playing definitely at least 2 here. I know earlier I was bigging up the Turkish Ascend, but how could I forget Team Liquid's Ascend? They've had some pretty good games on here, and there's some good ones and some weird ones.
Yeah, you know, I was remembering, that Scream Phoenix is something that comes back to mind. Will we see something similar? I don't think so in the current iteration of this team, but all in all, I think Team Liquid played a very solid split. I'm liking their chances going into this final map.
Hey, just to give Lofar a little heart attack, last time around at Red Bull Homeground when I had 2 stand-ins, Sayf played Reyna. I just had to put that out there. Doesn't mean that it's anything realistic.
You're going to give me a heart attack too.
Listen, sorry for that one, but it's probably going to be more of the realistic compositions. When we generally talk about that, not much to work with, except that we've seen crazy stuff so far in this map.
Have we seen a Reyna yet? I don't believe so.
No.
I don't think we've actually seen a single Reyna yet. And we also haven't seen a Phoenix. I would actually be okay with a Sayf Phoenix. I'm down to see it. I'm down to see it.
I'm not a complete Phoenix hater, I will say, especially like on this map, you just like farm up orbs and mains and have like pretty free executes into sites. But I think all in all, there's so much value on Jett on this map in particular for having that operator for mid control.
Absolutely.
That if you don't have that, it becomes very hard to play out your games. You have to play much more passively throughout mid.
And particularly if we talk about what could be played, right? It seems like a no-brainer to put Sayf on the Jett with his great operator play. I mean, that seems like everything else would be kind of trolled.
Yeah, but also on the side of FUT, the last time MOJJ did play Ascend with them, I don't believe Kiwi was there. It was a Rebel home ground where he played instead of Kiwi. So him playing alongside Kiwi, I think should work quite well for Turkish Ascend, man. It's just Turkish Ascend.
It is basically their home base. It is their home ground. Unfortunately, we cannot really go with anything they've played back there in lock-in. Sure. But I definitely see if there was like one map where we talk about pure comfort, like this is exactly where they strive, I would say it is Ascend.
And I think depending on map, there are certain like roles or agents that sort of define how the maps are played. I think Ascent for a long time has always been Jett plus Initiator, right? Like Jett plus KO, Jett plus Sky, these types of things. So I think that combination has to be online. We've seen Sayf and Jamppi game after game after game be so fantastic working with one another. Now MOJJ in the roster, Kiwi needs to be able to step up to be able to fight that battle, because so often you'll see tree control come down to that initiator player, bottom mid with the op as well. You're going to have to be able to break that. And going back to the weakness, I think, that was shown by FUT, not using utility to clear early angles in the mains, Ascent as a map, you have to be able to force Sayf off the angles in A or B before you commence the hit.
And this is something we have not necessarily seen from FUT on their attacking side time and time again, where, for example, the man who can really come head-to-head with him would be Kiwi, not really capable of doing that. Most importantly, though, when we talk about compositions real quick again, those two teams for me are not the kind of guys that go in the lab and be like, yeah, we're going to cook up something up, we're going to experiment. This is not the case.
They
with
played
Liquid.
Omen. Oh, no, they didn't. I'm talking about BBL. Ignore me, ignore me. I've been here for too long.
That's
I've been
okay.
Here for way too
You've
long.
been here since yesterday, right?
And the day before.
Oh,
and the day
man.
before that as well.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
The point is,
wow,
we're not going to see probably crazy comp. I would be surprised if we see like a Gecko. That would be kind of wild for me from both of the teams.
Well, we're going to find out in due course, because Agent Select is about to get started. Of course, Liquid, they haven't yet had an opportunity to play on this iteration of the roster on Ascent, but they've historically have done pretty well here. We're experiencing a tiny bit of tech problem on our side, but it has been solved here, so we can let you guys know what are we going to get. And of course, MOJJ plays this guy.
Yeah,
That's why he's here.
Main questions here is do we see like the scout initiators of Fate and so, because think of all the maps, this is still the map where it's very, very strong. But a lot of teams have fully switched over towards the sky. Team Liquid, not the case. They will be sticking towards the Sova, which gives you so much strong control, especially over towards B main. So I definitely like that. Nats on the Cypher is that comfort pick. He always likes to go for it. And I think there are a lot of cool kill tripwires you can set up for on site, but lacking the alarm bot and the nano swarm is so much stall power that's gone.
And you know what's great? We always had this Kiwi versus Sayf kind of storyline, and finally, Kiwi's on Jet. A Turkish Jet on Ascent is exactly what I want to see. And we're talking about comfort. This is probably the thing that I want to see from him, and this is where I want to see him strive against Sayf in those opening duels.
The comps are so normal, man. After what we
It's
went through yesterday, I'm like, give me something else. But of course, this is the last map of the series. The winner will be taking the win in this best of 3 Pansy and Hypog. I can't wait to see who it's going to be.
That's usually how it works.
Thank you, analysts, obviously, and Sue there going through everything. And yes, we do have Ascent now coming up. I mean, to be fair, Sue is basically an analyst at this point.
Yeah.
She knows more than actually most analysts. I'm just putting it out there.
I mean, I didn't say it,
I'm putting it out
so
there.
wasn't
Like,
me.
Sue's kind of big brain. Anyway, focusing on the matchup in front of us.
Yeah, moving swiftly on.
Yeah, moving swiftly on. We actually have a pretty decent matchup now. And again, though, where do you put this, right? Where's the pendulum swinging for you?
Well, we step further into the unknown. In terms of appearances so far, problem being Kiwi, in my eyes,
All day for me.
Yeah, that was a very rocky performance on Split. Again, overall, I don't think bigger picture it was there for FUT Esports in terms of the game plan, the strategy, the approach to that map, but he's got to come in here and diff Sayf on Ascent.
Who's been having a series.
Dude, it's actually crazy to look at the numbers. I was just talking to Tom in between maps.
Oh, yeah.
He's plus 30
Lovely.
right now on this. And it's the manner in which Liquid are able to capitalize that's so different in terms of their performance. Like I said, I would have come away from today with a Team Liquid loss and been happy about some improvement. The fact that
100%.
we're here and the performance looks so commanding on map 2 is a massive win for Liquid. So if they can close this out, especially if Sayf can carry that performance across here to Ascent, I'm confident they might just do it.
And Sayf's had, you know, especially in offline events, he's had some incredible performances on this map specifically.
Well, this is when we talk about the potential of this roster on paper.
Of course.
Some of these individuals are actually stepping up to the mark now. Nat's had a fantastic, and he's been quiet so far.
Yes.
Quiet lock-in.
Yeah, kind of a shadow of what you'd expect. When you as I said, they have some specialists, right? You have a couple of them there. However, on the other side, Turkish teams on this map, traditionally, quite good. So don't think it's fully comfortable, but it's an all-in piece towards B. Straight away, Nats gets it started with a bang. Taking down one, and the site's theirs. Sayf, precise in the end. The last 3 scrambling for a potential way in. And Sayf couldn't have had it easier on a platter for him. The last 2 feel like a formality. FALIN's lost in the source. And Liquid come out absolutely blaring on round 1.
The wind in their sails now, a confident approach to the pistol round, which was lacking early on in this series.
They're winning pistols, I'm worried.
Another approach here with a couple of ghosts to offset these rifles. Nats to find the opening here as well, capitalizing on that space created by Sayf.
I do feel Sayf is one of those confidence players. He needs those kind of good starts, little Eco Cobra moments.
Yep.
Gets that hot hand, and then he's almost unstoppable. Terrifying player to play against. And they seem very aware of this. Redgar, tricky spot to be in, overwhelmed. Yeah, too many people up against him there, 3 on the other side. But this should be quite indicative, but look at the setup here. They're aware of this, but diligent Aldrone to come back in to make sure they're tempering this aggression.
As I say, Mudge is actually trying to flash himself in there with a shorty. Does have a classic on the floor underneath him here. Is he going to try and catch Sayf ahead of this dash? Preemptively popped it, and Mudge actually punished.
Yeah, gone down.
But it's a push and pull here from Liquid. They're going to actually drift back towards A site, retake the space in mid. Kiwi, 75 HP, a Sheriff in hand. Didn't actually catch a glimpse of anybody.
You can hear a whole lot though. Catch it.
Oh, that's not where you wanted to go.
No, he's made a meal of it. And in the meantime, Nats actually got fallen as well. So they're really finding success throughout. So the A side looking like it's just on a platter for them. Easy for the taking. Sadly, none of these pistols quite finding anywhere to capitalize. And now what are you meant to do with a shorty with the door shut? No way in really here. Jamppi's starting to go hunting as well. Just on this corner. Might get a little bit of fortunate timing. Yeah, lovely. Perfect place for that.
Safe's posted up though.
Doesn't
denying the upgrade to that ghost.
That would be a very impressive shorty kill. There we go. Oh, Nats. In the meantime, slowly but surely snaking around the map. And that's a good start for Liquid. Clean enough.
Seeing the same intention early here, though, to try and pressure an extremity, dig out Redgar from that position. We did see that adjustment from Liquid on split as well to address that issue very early on. Whether it be utility, an extra body behind Redgar, something to secure that setup. I'm a little concerned here, actually. Redgar, they're throwing a stinger into this with a light shield. This time not positioned in that lurk. I'm curious here, there's a massive gap in the defense for esports here. Both players going to be isolated towards site.
Yeah, Sayf's in as well. Didn't get much of anything on the way either. No resistance, no resilience. Letting them in the front door. Playing for the back side though, that's where the fight's meant to begin, and it's good trades. Yeah, Nats did take down one, but Kiwi's there. Makes it on the side this time. Jamppi though did find a fight back, but the body's simply favorable in the end to foot. And I mean, honestly, Mike, it's just a bit of a brawl, it seems, so far.
I'm not sure if actually Redgar saved through to try and get the operator online. Yeah, because the purchase a little off. There's two members of Liquid down at 200 and 250, so curious, but riding through with this light shield by once again. A judge in hand for Mudge. We've seen actually FUT Esports a number of times in buy rounds, struggling to piece together 5 rifles. Kiwi, one off the blade storm here.
One suppressed.
And even little things like that, soulcas showing just presence on the outside. Sayf digs Kiwi out of that position.
Dry. There was no utility early.
Nothing.
That was just him stepping the hell out. Nasty. And maybe identifying that mid was potentially a vulnerability before.
I was talking about even soulcas showing presence here with util to act as a deterrent for FUT Esports not to come forward, try and dig Redgar out of this spot. Catches a big headshot though.
They need to either speed up or support. Redgar's in danger. They now know at least one is trying to hit that rotation, and they're actually committing to it too. Redgar might be dead. He is. MOJJ just got him, and now there's problems. qRaxs trying to keep his life here, trying to keep the site under control. Sayf's taking him down, but it's only 2. Sayf and soulcas. And look where the spike is. Look at the observers. They're on the case. Way to go. Problem is, what? Come on, Sayf, stepping out like that. That position was so favorable to the other side. But he's only got 2 HP. This would need an inhuman performance, an ace, and nothing less.
30 seconds left.
And only 30 seconds to do it. Can he find anything here? Is anyone out of position? Now with that timing, they're starting to think about it. Oh my word. Held my breath for a second there. But gonna bring this back up now. 2 apiece.
I think Liquid in a position to throw something into this round. And like I said, Jamppi and soulcas down at 2,600. See, Nat's considering going through the opener. It's beautiful from Sayf. He is so sharp today.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Gonna need a little more from the others though as well. Nat's had a good couple of rounds there, but I need to see the overall look from Liquid, if I'm honest. I want to see a bit of a game plan coming in. Looks a little bit one-dimensional to me so far. I'd like to see them try and work on this. Maybe deal with this aggression that's been toyed with consistently from FUT, taking near on full control over towards A very early on. This could be the answer, but look at the util in the way, Mike.
So a little bit of it chipped away. The alarm bot's not going to do anything here. MOJJ happy to greet Sayf on the way in. Allows him to dash in. I think actually Sayf catching eyes on him and will punish behind the cloud burst. There's no second layer! Sayf! What is that? He's found all 4, Lauren!
We said we wanted to see this man step up, find the form we know he's capable of. We said he's a specialist here, and he's putting on a show for you now. 4 massive kills. Hard fought for. And the last, well, what are you meant to do now? One man on a mission just destroyed your whole team. Do they let it happen? Does the ace come through? Do they find him in time? Sayf is only 35 HP. He is going hunting. This would be 5. Sayf looking for it, 35 HP. Couple more corners to clear, couple more seconds, he's found him. Oh, and he's gone down. They tried for it. They will catch him in the end. But credit where it's due. That mechanically was out of this world.
I mean, how is Sayf allowed to survive in that cloud burst and swing out the other side of it? 2 players in heaven. Nobody opting to come back down onto site here.
God.
It's pixel perfect from Sayf.
It's a kill on Kiwi that gets me. The fact he's able to reset like that.
Liquid desperate to close out one of these aces today.
They're trying.
Desperate.
Beautiful round from Sayf there. 10-3 already. We're in the 6th round. Wow.
FUT Esports forced him back in on this as well. SMG and the Bulldog to round out the purchase. Have the Seekers, but not really a comfortable position in terms of this first ult cycle. Talking about the wind being in Liquid sails now. You see these slow contact plays being made towards mid. Again, that early pick being a massive factor in terms of forcing FUT Esports to adjust.
He's got so much room. Gonna note the position now. Seeker's gonna come from the other side, but to what?
Yeah, not an awful lot of information. Unless both players in A main shot separately are those Seekers.
And the Paranoid does catch, and the player will be seen as well, slipping back towards Jen. And Sayf on his way in. Surely not again. 2 more victims on the side, potentially. He's still standing. Needs to find one of them. He does! Oh, and a second for Sayf! This man is monstrous right now! Oh, come on! He's playing a different game! Team Liquid have no right to be doing this. And he is demolishing them piece by piece, limb by limb. Is he done yet, though? Has he had his fill, or does he still hunger for more? Redgar by his side. Redgar this time is the one to just seal it. Stunning play, bailing Liquid out here.
Sayf has ascended so far in 6 rounds on Ascent. He is playing absolutely insane. And a freebie on the way back through the doors.
Nice! Let's fucking go.
Absolutely mental from him.
Yeah, that's
See,
face.
very, very different look in here with the coaches. What do you do when somebody's playing like this? 13-4. Leading the charge here for Liquid.
And this is why we wanted to see this man supported. See what he could achieve with some of the best in the game beside him, right? Starting to see that now. All that potential really coming through. Punishing FUT. They're putting him on a pedestal for a reason. He's up to the challenge. He's up to the task. And now we're looking at damage. What can they achieve from this? Can they do anything? Sadly, for Kiwi, that position feels very noted here. Flash is good. Oh, snappy.
Spike down, B.
Shot towards Jamppi there. And he'll get away with his life.
First time really, FUT Esports have been happy to take a little contact in B main early here. But no progress elsewhere. Which means Liquid can comfortably reset towards this cat push. MOJJ, the only man you probably want to see him with a shorty or a judge here, because he's got his hands full.
They've got to have seen him, right? They've got to have seen him, right? Oh my word, how do you find him safe? So slippery. Gonna get past one and continue on forward. And they're... No more. Not letting it happen now. MOJJ the only one here. There has been damage done. Look at it, Nat's down to... Down to 40, he's been deleted. Now we look at the last two. soulcas and Redgar in the positions, quite complementary. See if he can isolate any of this. Can he find a fight?
Extra 10 HP on soulcas makes all the difference. Two body shot zeros. Yeah, the swing comes through from soulcas. Lovely cleanup here. And it's Sayf again to throw himself through that smoke on short. The paranoia catching MOJJ is actually huge there. He's forced into a position where you got to argue he should have had Nats and Sayf. Here in this scenario, yeah, I mean, Sayf down to 21 HP, surely you expect him to fall. As you said, so slippery to get through.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah, nice.
Liquid starting to stretch their legs now, but Kiwi, operator in hand.
Okay, is this the remedy? Is this what they've needed? Can this deny Sayf? Has a peek for it. No, Sayf is willing. He's willing. And he's actually very diligent. Takes a whole lot of a hit though. Down to 2 HP. But he does stay standing. And now pressure on the other side of the map. Redgar once again under scrutiny.
Also, Liquid noted earlier, soulcas showing presence. Redgar has Jamppi in support this time around, if FUT Esports do start exploring to find that early advantage.
Here.
This default collapses very early towards a B main stack. Now, it's a major issue if Kiwi doesn't get a kill on the way in. Tara takes early contact, actually already a third member here, but the lockdown changes everything. And Sayf's looking to seal the deal behind it.
There's the trade, not gonna happen. Okay, FaliN gets to keep his life. Sayf couldn't get them anything, so they have to walk away from this. Well, I say walk, run. They've locked down 2 players from this. Do they chase it? Well, it looks like one, so he does FaliN.
Oh my word!
He's got 2, a third! FaliN on for it, and he's chasing it. soulcas quaking on the other side. Denied again.
There's no aces today.
Everything but.
The timing of the lockdown,
10 seconds left.
Huge for FUT Esports. MOJJ to seal the deal. Again, a great read here. I was concerned actually with the gap between MrFaliN and Kiwi, but Kiwi's still looking towards mid. Again, even I just thought it was sub 30 seconds, but there's still plenty of time left when this lockdown is invested. But with Sayf going forwards towards switch and then being punished, there's no filter through lane. That lockdown was never pressured. The time is not even there for Liquid to get away from it. No.
Once again, given a large quarter of this map, a long control will stay in the hands for now of FUT. No challenges to follow, but noting a couple of additional players here.
Scout destroyed.
They're peeking with intent. Kiwi, operator ready this time. How long does he stay posted on this? Redgar is ahead of it a little. High flash finds no one. Redgar playing this cool now. Kiwi better be ready, because the rest of Liquid are building towards middle.
I mean, you're hoping Redgar's going to TP across this gap. And how long Kiwi's actually going to stay posted on it. It's pulled the rotation here. They're happy with the coverage on A site.
Here we go. No TP, no life left. Goes down. That's half the map now under control for FUT. They were right to pull these rotations. Ready for the read.
No smokes for this B here either. There's only one cloud burst left from Sayf.
All right, This is not a pretty way to take the site. Paranoia is going to even slow it down further. 35 seconds now. They're tucked at the back of Boathouse. Very powerful positioning. Yeah, you can see it in full FALLIN. This guy is mechanically absolutely off the charts. But the main man himself, the hero of the hour, sadly, the one thing he doesn't have is the spike. 2 targets. Whoa, come on! The hero of the hour and the man of the moment with 15 more seconds. He has 1 more to find, and it's Kiwi on the other side.
10 seconds
Spike
left.
now gathered. He's just rolling the dice, and this time it's Snake Eyes. Until then, though, he was on for it again.
And he even gets what he's after. Baits Kiwi into a peek. Second guesses himself for the last second. And with the way he's playing, you almost expect Sayf to close it out. The adjustment on the 2 kills into spawn. This is outrageous.
Wow.
Mr. FALLIN starting to heat up for FUT Esports, though.
Yeah, he is.
Denial of information here. Liquid trying to bait FUT Esports now into this A main clearance to try and punish it. Nat's the only one disconnected.
This time you can see the difference. So this allows Sayf to move forward, and he's made this work. I think he's seen a player close. Yeah, he has. MOJJ punished. If they don't challenge early, they allow Sayf so much room to work. Doesn't need that. Trying to bait it out. See if there's any other presence. No. Time to fall away. Early damage done. Job done.
The layers are here, though. This alarm bot's going to identify Nats' presence. Actually, MOJJ's got to respect it now with the spy cam. Redgar still posted up. Now, Kiwi can catch anybody on the cross here to equal the numbers.
This is that 1v1 that might start becoming...
Liquid have got the lead. They're drifting back towards A main.
Oh, you're right. I thought they were going to peel away from this. Still working their way forward here. Patiently, though. 35 seconds now on the board.
I mean, qRaxs, 44 HP. He's only got 1 flash here. Kiwi has to stand and fight with him.
Kiwi's smoked off, though. He doesn't stand forward. He does. Dips in ahead of the smoke, dips away. Now we need qRaxs to deliver. He does. They're doing good damage for 20 seconds. That spike is in the hands of Jamppi. That needs to make it towards site and go down. So, even affair. 3v3. They do have a lot of ult. So, Jamppi does have that Hunter's Fury.
And the shock darts to play off.
And
you see he's already got himself back comfortably into A main.
Nowhere to run!
Early Hunter's Fury popped here. I think it's caught short. Yeah, it caught a tag on MOJJ, but doesn't secure the kill.
This is now problematic, but Sayf is bailing them out once again. Ooh, chipped away at, though, now under scrutiny from both sides. How is he standing? He isn't. He's been put to bed by FALLIN. And now the 2v2. It's a scramble, though. Kiwi, pandemonium. You can see the shock darts coming in. It's desperate from Jamppi. He's on it, though. And now Jamppi needs to find this next fight. He goes down for it. And Redgar patiently playing the whole time. Kiwi, too little, too late. Didn't make it to half. Has to bow out. 6 for Liquid. But a very close round.
And it's a round of timings there. The smoke over on main. FUT Esports, unfortunately, can't get enough done whilst that coverage is up. Can't get that half defuse off. What a turn of events, though. I mean, qRaxs does everything he can from that position. Kiwi, as I said, dips his toes ahead of that site hit. Does what he can to weaken the numbers of Liquid. Jamppi's unlucky not to find that kill onto MOJJ as well. Yeah. I mean, MOJJ is stuck in that position where it's a very tight corridor to dodge that Hunter's Fury.
Kiwi willing to take that fight early. No challenger on the other side, and smoke now pluming. Will deny any vision of this. Looks like an adjustment up towards short. Sayf leading the charge. On the other side, quite a deep setup for MOJJ here. Playing much further away. Setup still in action. Gonna pop that now. You can see the damage is being done. Sayf still good for the entry though. MOJJ on the side though, taking names! Everyone's delivering today. Oh! Is it there? It is! Finally! The ace comes in! 3 maps it took. So many 4Ks. That's the one you get. Bringing that scoreline right back to touching distance.
What a hold from MOJJ. The adjustment of utility as well. Seeing Sayf set up this very cloud burst for this dash out. It just resets, comfortably isolating these 1v1s. What a round from him.
Keep up.
And again, separates us actually from two very different outcomes in this half, especially when you look at Liquid's purchase for the last. soulcas with a Vandal, Jamppi with a Guardian.
Showing what you can do. Seeing everything now. Sayf, not really slowing down either. Still trying to work through all of these flashes. All the util dumpers coming in, taking a little bit of flak damage there. Now it gets trickier. Goes in. Kiwi does pop off a shot, but Sayf is still standing. Still trying to close that gap. It's 3 on the site here.
I don't know what he's going about here. Kiwi's still going to find the kill with the operator. Jamppi is Sayf trying to charge this down.
Sayf is a madman, but they're still on the back of the site. Sayf is desperate to try and get this one dealt with. Chip damage, yes. Surrounded though. And now we look at Redgar. Oh, just fizzles out at the end there. FUT, they've answered back. It's 6 apiece now.
What a response in the latter half.
Finding form like that against Sayf. Sayf's on 20-10. And the rest are a mile away. It's a steep drop-off, but FUT did stabilize, which is incredibly impressive.
I mean, you can't even really criticize the numbers on the rest of Liquid.
Not really.
When Sayf is pulling off the entries he is. Again, Kiwi not really getting that value off that operator. Couple of kills here and there, but definitely not impactful ones. Again, forced away so early from that mid-hold. So that one dry peak from Sayf. There's never really a challenge after that.
No, I think he learned his lesson very quickly. And, you know, it's great to see someone like Sayf having a performance here. Because let's remove him from the equation. That's a very different look to a half, I feel. But how much of that was tailored around his success, finding him and propping him up and making him be the superstar he's been here to get them to this scoreline so far.
We did see flourishes on split as well. Nat stepping up to the plate. soulcas as well, having a few impactful rounds. They need it here because you've got to argue the momentum shifting back in FUT Esports' favor. Like I said, we're on the brink of either a 6-6 or what looked like probably going to be an 8-4 half.
Yes.
Aside from MOJJ's ace, that was kind of pivotal in terms of the timing it came through because Liquid were absolutely dictating.
But then if I'm going to talk about someone like Sayf as well, and MOJJ, I have to say, FALLEN has been absolutely out of this world. Some of those
rock
rounds,
solid anchor.
Yeah, very, very good at this. Seen a couple of those moments there, kind of played back through, but again, both sides finding a little bit of that momentum, that little spark when they need it. And this was just stunning. Again, Kiwi just getting absolutely outdone there. Just, you don't get to see it very often. Not at this level anyway, right? It's like the caliber of these players.
Sayf just had literally a highlight reel from this half alone.
And this was one from FALLEN that caught me off guard as well. That was just raw power, and you've got to feel at one point there, I think it was almost the ace from Sayf when it was that 1v1 at the end. Just that little bit of doubt as to what to do with it. Tapped the spike and then took the 1v1, but Kiwi was there with that operator, but there he is, man of the moment. Keeping Liquid a nice tight scoreline of 6 apiece. Now let's kind of roll it back to our expectations here of this map alone. Is this an outstanding performance for a team in your mind, or are you happy enough with what we're seeing here from him?
He's hiding away.
Yeah, he's not
going to be playing that shy in the second half.
Oh. Hello.
But yeah, what's interesting is now we shift across to the half where actually you can't really ride that wave of somebody really, really over-delivering. And FUT Esports have looked great in terms of those reactionary plays. Think back to that round on Lotus where the game plan was there to kind of bait Liquid in. We need a couple of these other members of Liquid to stand up.
Well, that's what we're going to find out here. Second half, third map, 6-6. Could not be closer between these two. And pace apparently is the name of the game. Redgar, you better be ready. You got 3 on the corner and absolutely no real outcome. Jamppi, it's soulcas! It's highlight reel after highlight reel. And FALLEN sadly so far away. Oh my God, he's answered back. But he's so low, he's 10 HP. 1 bullet should do the job. soulcas has 15. He should be fine. Should be fine, and he is. Nat's gonna catch FALLEN. No more threats, and a pistol.
Well, you ask, and soulcas will deliver. The pistol round on a platter for Team Liquid. And again, for Esports, not shying away from the brawl here. And that first headshot onto qRaxs is so unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
Let's take a collat in the back lines.
Nice!
And interestingly enough, we're going to see FUT Esports try and follow through with that.
Me and Mike.
At 2 a.m.
Yes.
Still mid-series.
Still casting, of course. Actually, a buy-up coming out. Hold on. We're going to see Stingers, we're seeing Frenzies, we're seeing everything being thrown out, but the kitchen sink. I guess it wasn't close enough round. You could warrant it. The Liquid so far looking good. Jamppi! I saw that snap. And it is now just qRaxs. He's got to isolate another. Oh my god, everyone's doing it!
Thank God Sayf's there.
Everyone is just like delivering 3Ks. I don't know what's going on. My voice already hurts, and they keep doing this. Every round. soulcas just had one. We're just seeing it. It's mad.
That's more accurate, that one.
Yeah. Your hair's right there.
Yeah, it's a sprinkle here and there. But even there, I mean, the damage's not really equating to much because the force comes through. Now FUT Esports are back in a position where it's only Sheriffs they can invest. Let's see Liquid then get their buy round back on track. As I say, that's down on the Spectre, but the adjustment is there. Maybe he gets a freebie off his trap. Almost don't want him to play distance versus these Sheriffs now. FUT Esports stacked up outside bottom mid for the time being. I'm wondering how long Liquid commit to this A main hold. Maybe on the back of some of these audio cues, or maybe the trip will be what pulls the rotation.
Know about it. I
But
mean,
Jamppi's still not out of spawn yet.
yeah, I don't know what's going on. This is so late for them. Nats is screwed here, really. I mean, Miracles, he's doing this. Nat's still good for 2. Jamppi is there in support. It just looked dangerous for a while.
Spike's down on lane as well. qRaxs has dropped the site already.
That's tough for qRaxs. Does have a flash, I guess. Could try and do it, but double stack here. Yeah. Really well maintained by Liquid.
This one feels like it could be over before it starts, though, and honestly, FUT Esports need to get a round on the board in this second half. Problem being, Liquid are going to pad this purchase now. An operator to complement it. Still 2 Bulldogs in the inventory. Jamppi loving that one. Again, starting to look a little more comfortable as well with some of these snappy headshots. Speaking of comfortable.
You and I are up a cougar. Is that what you're telling me?
No. Awful choice of wording. But this time out,
it's a great chat.
Well, yeah. This timeout kind of crucial in terms of the approach here. There's a lot of rides on this. This needs to be clean.
Yeah.
It's Liquid on the brink of double digits. They almost, I mean, with this light armor purchase, they've been favoring whilst in the lead. Will protect that even further.
It's been working for them money-wise. I haven't seen any of the, what you call them, Screecos?
Screecos. Scrifty.
Scrifty. That's terrible. Yeah, I haven't seen too much of that. It's generally been pretty well-rounded. Do see the double Bulldogs still
I mean,
but that's fine.
Yeah, the only concern here being, Sayf, you understand why he's throwing the operator in here, but he isn't close to the Blade Storm.
Could be left wanting.
Yeah, which is fine. I go, if they give this away, hold on to the operator short, because Liquid will come back in with a full purchase anyway. The way he's playing, you've got to argue Sayf's going to find 1 or 2 regardless.
Yeah, I guess you got to back your horse when it's winning, right? Like, you're not going to not try and get the best out of him.
This is interesting, though. Jamppi's actually pulled away from B to invest the drone towards mid.
Nats.
There's no adjustment from Sayf just yet.
This is so tough for Nats. Yeah, he's so dead. It's not, there's no, wait, what? Huh? How did Sayf just get 2? I don't know how they're even in this round still.
A blind collat from this smoke in CT.
That's heartbreaking for FUT. I mean, they did everything right. Absolutely everything. I can't even question it. And now left with their backs against the wall, quite literally here in this post plant. Kiwi, though, looking to maybe make something happen. Timing, not there. And the paranoia hits really well. Redgar gets given the space. They can start moving a little further forward. Double stacked up on lane, and it's a trade out. That's all they can really get here. High flash catches Kiwi. Dips back to sight. Overwhelmed. Sayf. This guy can do no wrong.
I'm pretty sure it's blind within that smoke that he finds a collat. I said, you got to argue he's good for 1 or 2. Not like that. That is heartbreaking for FUT Esports.
They found Nat for free. He was left on a platter. Let's see if we get that again here. Oh, yeah. Oh,
it's off the tag.
It's off the tag.
That is wild. Because you look at that, just as a snapshot ahead of that site hit, you think, yeah, Nats is dead. There's no way. There's such a huge gap. As soon as Jamppi comes across towards Fountain there, or sorry, towards Spawn to invest the drone, and Sayf doesn't actually backfill that position in Spawn.
Get out of my way.
Oh, you can see the adjustment.
That's when you need something random like a collat to come and swing it back in your favor.
Yeah, and look at the adjustment here, though. A totally different setup this time around. We're seeing Redgar joined by Jamppi over towards the B site. And similar scenes from FUT. They are looking to try and explore this option. And they're going to find a very different side against him. Jamppi. The Gatling gun takes down Kiwi. Oh, and he's just carrying on. They have no idea who else is here. It's Redgar waiting patiently. Gets both players. Nats makes his debut here. It is a whitewash. Team Liquid are absolutely running through FUT.
Big ultimate to be removed as well. FUT Esports will come back in with, what we've got to say is the last purchase they have left. MOJJ is even going to struggle here as well. qRaxs will struggle. MOJJ can only throw a Guardian into the mix.
Nice! Good job, guys. Let's go!
Lockdown Seekers available. Jamppi has the counter for that lockdown, but positioned over here towards B. Won't be able to prevent that investment. It does come on A. Redgar off the rip. What's that?
Away. Straight
He's
away.
just dry swinging main.
They're just feeling this game out completely.
Was there a flash over the top from soulcas or something?
Maybe. I don't think so. I genuinely don't think there was.
soulcas has used one flash. I've got to assume that's what it is. Because it was so quick.
Maybe?
Smoke's removed as well.
Oh.
Either site going to be so difficult to execute here.
They've got the Seekers, but even then, you've still got the 2 Sheriffs as well. So let's say you even get that start you want. It's still brutal. Yeah, Spike's a mile away. Redgar still good for another. Numbers so favorable, and they're feeling themselves. You can see them willing to take kind of almost dangerous duels here because they can. Spike is now going to be MOJJ's duty. Has to get back and get that. Sayf going to be suppressed, so falls away, respecting that. And Hunter's Fury just posted. Does it find qRaxs? He's doing the dodge.
That's capitalized on it,
got him. Okay, MOJJ. 1v3. Bulldog. Lockdown.
30 seconds left.
Jamppi's early. He's read this very well. Oh, he's such a rat.
Yeah, this is disgusting.
He's going to do something horrible, isn't he? How nasty will Jamppi be?
Knife him.
It could
Knife
be.
him.
It is. Oh,
yeah.
Come on.
It's as close to a knife.
I feel it's even worse. He's behind me, isn't he? Yes. Yes, he is. It's 6-12, and Liquid look more alive than I've seen them in a long time. This is lovely. And
It
yes,
was the flash over
God,
the top.
and what a flash, too. Fully blind. Zero chance at it.
Redgar actually just TPs forwards. That is beautiful.
Stunning.
And then the best thing as well, soulcas actually sets up that second flash through the door to put Redgar in a position to find a second kill. Again, we have this conversation a number of times. We don't always get the examples of the value found from soulcas and his utility. That there is beautiful to see.
God, and the damage already. Unpleasant way to start things.
Shadows traveling.
It's MOJJ the only one
Can't use that.
really with a heal. Redgar and FALLEN on opposite sides of this smoke.
You don't just drift into that, do you? Oh God, the time. FALLEN has no. Oh! It's a gut punch. It's gut wrenching. Kiwi tries to stride forward, tries to be brave, tries to be bold. He can't even back away. His teammate beside him forcing him to fight. And it's a 3v2, finally favorable. They have something going their way. Maybe a pawn can come in from this. they can do something.
I see a recon up and an Odin in Jamppi's hands.
I don't like it.
Don't play on site.
Look at the utility that's still in this
Still got
team.
paranoia as well.
Yep. Smoke back in here too. Here we go. Aldro not going to get much. Going to note 2 players back aside. And here we are, the spray, the prey. 2 are tagged up. Paranoia is pretty damn good as well. That's the first step. Still needs 2 more players. qRaxs and qRaxs have to hold on to this. Dark goes in. Not going to find much. 1 bullet.
Oh, no.
Redgar. Jamppi.
Jamppi!
No, Jamppi, come on! Come on! He's already got the headset off. He knows what he's done to him. Absolutely demolished him.